Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to what is going to be the busiest week in 5 Out podcast history. I'm
Yeah,
Joey, the Master LeMaster, joined by Everton. Levy, Everton, before I talk about what's going on this week, how are you doing?
doing great, man. Just summer, man. What can I say, bro? Like I'm
Yeah.
tired, low key,
Mm.
but at least I don't have to worry about the stress of like having to get up for an 8 a.m. or something like that, So
That's real.
can't
I
complain
mean,
about
I
that.
never got stressed at 8 a.m. again. All my classes don't start till 11, so trust me.
Same.
I'm getting my 8, 9 hours of sleep, bro. I'm gonna be so mentally healthy during the school
Me
year.
too,
It's
bro.
gonna be
Me
awesome.
too, man. Oh
But
my
summer's
goodness.
been great. The NBA regular season has wrapped up. We're now in the off season, which means, like normally when the off season happens, like, oh, it's like summer break. We get some time off, to relax. No, not in
Mm-mm.
the NBA. Content just gets
No.
more busy. And that's why I said this is going to be the busiest week in 5 Out podcast history because we're going to have 3 podcasts drop this week. I hope we're ready, Everton,
Yeah,
because
yeah, I'm ready.
today we gotta do our let's for a preview what's gonna happen today. We gotta do our final NBA mock draft. We gotta do some trades we want to see, some free agency moves we want to see. We gotta recap the finals. We're gonna talk about the top 15 players in the NBA. And then on Wednesday, we'll be live reacting to the NBA draft. We're doing day one. If you think we're reacting the second round, go F yourself. No, that's
Yeah,
not
come on.
happening.
Just to
Let's
see
be real.
Bronny or something? Come
Yeah,
on.
no, we do not care. He'll go in the
No.
first round anyways. And then, and then come Saturday or Sunday, we got to react to free agency because that's when all the moves happen the first couple of days. So we're going to be reacting to that as well. So busy week, Everton. I hope we're locked in. I
But
hope
yeah,
you're
for
right
sure locked in.
because I hope you understand. This is going to be a no touch grass week for me. Like
Yeah.
I might not be going outside because I'm not trying to go on too many side tangents, but the Bear drops this week with every episode dropping in 2 days. We got
Oh,
another episode of The Boys. We got
mm.
Euros. We got the draft. We got Copa America, free agency. Like we're not touching
In that
grass.
order?
Oh, it's all over the place. I was just
Okay.
listing what came first in my mind. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a busy week. I'm staying in my room, off the grid. No one's gonna know what's going on, but we're gonna be here and we're locked in.
Is there another reason why you might be off the grid?
That's a great transition, Everton, because we are going to start off with our silly conversation. Normally, the silly conversation happens at the end, but for the first time in 5 Out history, on the 22nd episode, it's going to kick it off because earlier this week, a silly trade happened. And normally, this wouldn't be our silly conversation, but when it's my team and Everton's team, we got to talk about it.
Have to. Literally have to.
I really didn't want to. That's why this podcast took a little bit to come out because I needed some days. My Bulls hurt me. Everton received Alex Caruso, and in exchange, my Bulls received Josh Giddey. Uh, Everton, you want to start? I mean, do you want to start with the positive or do you want to start with the negative side? I can let you pick this one.
Um,
Like, do you want a
let's
fangirl or do you want me to just like die and just let everything out?
you know what? I'll go first because I feel like
Mm.
I'll have more positives to say, and then I'll just let you rant to end it off.
All right, bet that works with me.
Right? I'm gonna just say my whole spiel and then it'll Joey just rant.
Mhm.
Simple as that. So let's start off with my OKC Thunder. I am happy. We already got the re-signing, so it's not like he'll be a free agent. We re-signed him. Caruso's our player.
Mhm.
From the Caruso standpoint, fits us. Like defender, all defensive level defender, can shoot the ball, plays within his role. Literally a player that plug in, play perfect. Literally fits
Mhm.
our whole team too. Because we're trying to win now. Perfect player to win now.
Yeah.
From that standpoint, legit A plus for me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's really nothing wrong with this trade for me.
Mhm.
For the Bulls side, I don't hate it. I don't. I see a lot of people hate the trade.
Mhm.
It's because here's the thing. I
I
think
can
the
make you
only
hate
thing
the
that
trade.
you hate the trade.
I can make you hate the trade. I can tell you why it's an F.
Again, I'll let you get to your point. Let me just
No, dude, I'm on the edge of my seat, bro. Oh my God.
I know.
They're
So
gonna have to
here's the two
restrain me.
things. The two things. One, they waited too long.
Yes,
You
they
could
did.
have made this trade at the trade deadline and got back picks. That was the one thing that confused me. Look, if I'm an NBA team and I'm making a trade with the Thunder, I gotta leave with a pick. I'm not gonna lie. There's no way I don't make a trade with the Thunder and I don't get a pick. Like, there's literally no way. So from that standpoint, it's like, you telling me you traded with OKC and you didn't get a pick? How? Like, literally, how did you not get a pick? Sorry. But in light of that, you gave up a 30-year-old to get a guy who's 22, I believe, Josh Giddey. Look, I know we all have our gripes about Josh Giddey, but I do think this season was a bit of a weird season for him. Obviously, we know what happened off the court, and I feel like that was kind of a cloud over him. I think this is a new opportunity, new scenery. We've seen in the past, he has shown some bright spots, right? This is a guy who in his second year in the league, I think at one point he was the youngest player to get triple-double. Second year in the league, averaged about 17, like 6 and 7. Again, Josh Giddey is Josh Giddey. I know people have their gripes about him, but I do think this is a 22-year-old. You're getting a young player who, if he pans out, hey, you give up Alex Caruso to get a player who panned out to be a star. Cool. If he doesn't pan out, then it's like, well, that's tough. But I think the other thing, and then the biggest thing for me, you're starting to make moves. That's I think a positive. If I'm a Bulls fan, they've been hanging on like we're number one in attendance, so who cares? No, make moves. This is the first move. Let's make some more moves. So those are my positives. The only negative, I guess, is you just didn't get a pick. But
The only negative.
from my standpoint, like I said, I'm too happy about us getting Caruso. But
Yeah, from my Oklahoma City Thunder standpoint, that moved on to our biggest liability in the playoffs.
and I was gonna say, from our standpoint, look, dude was holding us back anyways. We're all respect to Josh Giddey. I do hope he does well at the Bulls because I think it's a good opportunity for him. So, and of course, with Lonzo Ball being kind of like we don't know what we're gonna get. Why not get a guy who can put the ball on the floor, tall guard who can pass the ball? So, go ahead, say your thing, Joey. I'll let you cook.
Okay, I'm gonna talk Thunder first because that is the bright side.
Yeah.
Shea, Caruso, Case Wallace, Lou Dort. Who scores on the perimeter? Like genuinely, who's getting a 3-point shot off? Not a single soul. With Chet Holmgren waiting in the paint, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Only worry I have for Caruso on this for this team is he shot 40% from three, but that's on like 4 or 5 attempts. With the
Not
Thunder's five
even.
out spacing, it's gonna have to be
Yeah.
like 8 shots off a game. So I hope he's ready for the more workload he's going to get. I'm excited
Yeah.
for him. There's a beautiful fit, and I am rooting for him. I
Mm.
swear I am also rooting for Josh Giddey, but I'm telling you
Mhm.
this next 4 minutes, it's not gonna sound like it.
Go
Because
ahead.
this trade sucks. It's awful. Let's see where I want to begin. First off, played off the court, he was that big of a liability. And I get he was young, and Everton
Mm.
made a great point where he had this big cloud going on over him.
Yeah.
So this guy that already has this big cloud over him, let's send him to maybe the second or third biggest market in the NBA, where he's gonna have even more eyes on him and see how he's gonna handle all that heat. Because certainly Chicago's not gonna boo him when he walks in that arena, right? Let's be serious. It's only going to get worse from here.
Mhm.
Now let's talk about the actual player himself. Proven he could not shoot the ball this year. Has maybe the craziest low light of failed passes. Cannot defend. Is the biggest defensive liability.
Yeah.
But he can inbound the ball, guys.
That
We traded Alex Caruso for maybe one of the best inbound passers the league has ever seen.
sounds so
Who?
nasty.
With no picks from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Not a single soul. They have maybe
That is the biggest L.
25 first round picks. We couldn't get a singular one when other teams were offering us teams or picks that are currently in the top 10. We didn't get any of those. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
And then I had to show love to Kenny King the fourth quarter because he made the best point. And this is why, like, I had some hope for the trade until
Yeah.
Kenny made up this point.
Mhm.
For Josh, when Josh Giddey did play well, he was the ball dominant guy. You know, he was the one able to take the ball up the court and was able to dish it out to his thing.
Yeah.
Kobe White just had the most improved player of the year jump because he went from shooting guard to point guard and had the ball in his hands.
Mhm.
Are we really going to take the ball out of his hands for Josh Giddey? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Kobe and Io are taking strides, but we're gonna see what
Mhm.
Josh Giddey can do, and we're gonna hurt Kobe and Io's development for a guy who has 1 year left before he hits restricted free agency. So we're gonna have to pay him too. This isn't like some
True.
young guy we have some years to work with. He's gonna want a
Yeah.
contract next season. So it's either we're gonna pay him a crap ton of money, or it's gonna let him walk. We pretty much gave Caruso for a 1 year rental of Josh Giddey. This is disgusting.
Yeah. Okay.
There's
That's
not a
true.
single positive take from this. A little bit of hope is Josh Giddey is young, and in his
Mm.
first year with Oklahoma City Thunder, he did show some promise. And with the strides Kobe and Io have taken, there's not a sentence I thought I could say with the Bulls, but they shown they could develop some guards because Kobe and Io take a massive jump, so maybe Giddey can be that guy.
Mhm.
But if we hurt Kobe and Io stride for Josh Giddey, I'm gonna be so pissed off. I'm gonna be so mad. But I am mad. This hurts. And Caruso literally fought for the city every day. Like, man, just
Yeah.
he's probably the only person that you'd see in a Bulls jersey in like game 65 of the regular season. Like, oh, he's the only one out there trying. So
Yeah.
seeing that leave for what could potentially be nothing just breaks my heart. I hope he succeeds. Giddy, I hope you succeed as well. I just have there's just way too many red flags. Like there's more red flags that were on his like scouting reports.
Yeah, then that scouting report had I mean, were there any positives on that scouting report? I swear that scouting report
He's
literally just said
tall.
he's bad at basketball,
Yeah.
but he's tall and Australian. That's literally what that scouting report said.
And we took that for a two-time all defensive player who developed a three-point shot, has championship experience.
So if y'all would have got at least one pick, would you feel at least a little bit better about this trade?
Yes, absolutely. It's the
Okay.
Oklahoma City Thunder.
That's the part that confused me too. I'm not gonna lie. I kept looking at the report. I'm like, okay, what pick did they get? And then it literally said they didn't get any picks, by the way. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what, OKC though?
they have more first-round picks than famous rappers do women,
No,
and we were able to get one of
literally.
them. Like that's
Like,
ridiculous.
that's the worst part of this trade for me. Like,
Absolutely.
you literally, there's no way. Like I said, there's no way I am a NBA team making a trade with the OKC Thunder where they're getting like the player that suits them better in a way,
Mm.
and I don't get a first round pick. There's no way.
Yeah, all I'm
There's no way.
saying is if Sam Presti ever calls my line, it's going straight to voicemail. That's just a phone call that's just a phone you can't pick up because he is coming in with evil intentions to just tear
Yeah.
apart your team. And
Hmm.
he's done a great job. Him and Danny Ainge just do not pick up the phone.
No, they're trying to cook you. I'm not gonna
Mm.
lie.
And they've been doing a fantastic job. Everton, anything else you want to add on to this that you feel like hasn't been touched on?
No, I feel like we've both said pretty much all that really could cover this whole trade. So yeah,
Yeah.
none more for me.
Just hopefully the Bulls blow it up, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Because if the Bulls, not many people know this, if the Bulls don't get a top 10 or better pick, it's not even theirs. So they have to tank in what's probably the most loaded draft class we've seen in a little bit.
Hey, I'm hoping they blow it up, but we'll
Yeah.
talk about that later. We will talk
Cooper
about that
Flag,
later.
please save me. Can you hear me, Cooper
Please,
Flag?
bro. I want Cooper. You know what? Let's just move on with the mock draft.
Yeah. So that's our thoughts on Everton ruining my life. Thank you, Everton. But let's move on because the NBA draft, as a Bulls fan, is my favorite time of the year. You think I look forward to the playoffs? Absolutely not. I'm never there. I am always here for the NBA draft. We're 2 days away, and me and Everton, we're going. This is our final mock draft. We've done a couple, and they've gotten a great ton of views. Thank you guys for the support. This is gonna be the
Yeah.
last one. Me and Everton are
Mhm.
gonna go back and forth 1 through 30. I'm gonna pull up the NBA draft order because I didn't write down all 30 picks because that would hurt my hand. Everton, do you want to remind the people that think this is the worst draft of all time how they're dumb and stupid before we start this?
Let me give y'all 3 reasons why it's not. One, literally the Kenyon Martin draft exists. That
Yeah.
existing already makes it like, no, I don't care what you have to say. Two, there's always some guy who figures it out. Like, people said this about the 2013 draft, and then Giannis became an NBA player. Like, you never know who's gonna pop up out of nowhere. Three, the players in the draft who there's a few that can become superstars, and this is role player galore. Like, I don't think I've seen a draft this deep full of like guys where I'm like, yo, they can help an NBA team right away, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think from that standpoint, yeah, sure, not that cornerstone top 5 NBA prospect type of players, sure, but there's so many guys in this draft I think could become like borderline all stars, top role players, like guys who can help you win a championship, and that's important, and especially in this new like
Mm-hmm.
era of basketball. That's
Yeah.
important.
We preach on this podcast. We love role players, and there's a lot of them coming from this draft. And
Yeah.
then, like, not only that, there's a lot of guys that are young and have a ton of upside. And then you have these older guys, which are going to contribute on day one. There's
Hmm.
going to be a fun draft, and I am excited. Everton, I'm going to take the odds because I want to draft for my Bulls. Then you're going to take the
Yeah,
even so you can draft for your Thunder.
I figured as much. Yeah, cool with me.
So let's get it started where the Atlanta Hawks somehow got the number one pick, and it's somehow not going to be Alexander Sarr. I really cannot believe it.
Hmm.
In case you guys haven't seen the reports, Sarr's not even talking to the Hawks. Like he straight up wants to go to Washington, which is an
Oh,
crazy statement.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he wants to be the face, but like that's insane.
yeah.
So the Hawks, I'm pretty sure like it's between two guys. It's gonna be Zachary Reese-Sachet and it's gonna be Donovan Clingan. Those are
Mm,
the two guys, and I just think Clingan's a little too similar to Onyeka.
to be
But
one, yeah.
the Hawks also don't like Onyeka, so maybe that doesn't even factor into it.
True.
But I'm going with the 6'9" forward that can be off ball shot creator that the Hawks are looking for. So the first
Mm.
pick, I think it's gonna be Zachary Reese-Sachet.
Yeah, I agree. I wholeheartedly. For a while, I was on the SAR train, but I've been hearing great things about Reece Sachet, and I think the fit kind of makes sense because if the Hawks actually do care about Onyeka, it would make sense to get Reece Sachet instead of Sar. If
Mm,
they do care about him, if they don't,
big
I guess
ask.
do what you want. But And also all the reports we've been seeing about like how Sarr is like, nah, I want to be in Washington. Said nobody ever. Um,
Yeah, no. This is like when literally they're saying, "Give me Iguodala over LeBron for
like
like the final shot." Like that's how
like
crazy of a statement this is.
literally how crazy it is. But I agree, Reece will probably end up being the number one because I feel like if you're between Klingon and Reece just probably makes more sense. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, number one, Reece I agree as well. So
So
number
that'll
two,
yeah, that'll move us to Washington.
yeah, that'll move us to Wizards. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna watch this team next year.
Yeah, League Pass just for Wizards. So with Reece going one, I think it only makes sense. He's spoken about it. Sarr's going to be a Washington Wizard. I also think it makes sense positionally because I don't know how quick they are to be like Marvin Bagley. Well, no, I think he'll still be on the roster, but I don't know how quick they'll be wanting to having to start Marvin Bagley and the center depth on this team. Obviously, they gave up Gafford, so he's not on this roster anymore. They don't have a lot of center depth. Go get the guy who has maybe the most upside in this draft, maybe.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, he plays defense as well. Why not get Sarr? He's a guy who has a lot of potential, defensive prospect who moves well on the perimeter as well. Like this is a
Mhm.
solid player. He's kind of shown interest in your team, which not many people do. Why not? So
Yeah, and he's grown on to me as lot as well. I'm not kind of like crapped on him a little bit in the past, but like the thought of Alexander Sarr is there, and there's a lot of potential. Hopefully,
mhm.
Washington can utilize it, getting him and Bilal Koulibaly, get the French powers
Yeah,
going in. But
yeah,
speaking of French powers, I've seen a lot of rumors that the Spurs might trade up to number one.
I
What would
have
your
heard
thought? Yeah,
that
what would
too.
your thoughts be on that, Everton? Before we move on,
I mean, if they're that high, well, who do you think are they drafting up to get Sarr or Reece Shea?
they're
I feel like
going
Reece
up.
Shea.
I feel like they go up for Sarr.
You really?
Yeah, I mean,
I,
look how well David Robinson and Tim Duncan worked out for
True,
him,
they might want to go replicate that.
and
That
then
kind
that
of
with
makes
like
sense.
athletic freaks.
True, that would be nasty, Loki. If Sarr is the player that it looks like he could be with Wemby, that is crazy. My only thing is with Reece Shea, the shooting that he'd bring with the length and stuff,
Mhm.
that would Loki benefit them because they weren't a good 3-point shooting team at all.
Mhm.
So he'd come in and be a floor spacer. So I don't know, either or if they were to get either or with whatever top big, I actually wouldn't be mad at it,
Not at
to be
all.
honest. So yeah,
So then we're gonna move on to Houston at number three, and I really don't want to make this pick because it's gonna ruin the mock draft. The Rockets just are not picking here.
they're
Like,
gonna trade this pick. That's what I was saying to
this
myself
pick's
too.
getting traded. It's like I
Yeah,
really don't want to make this, but we're not doing trades in this mock draft, unfortunately.
yeah,
So that's a little hard one to go with. It's got to be a point guard though, because they're gonna look for like Fred VanVleet's not the final answer, so they're gonna look for someone to
no.
take that role.
Hmm.
And I want to go Robert Topic here.
Yeah, that's what
Mm.
I wrote down.
I think I'm gonna go Topic, just because Topic's just the best passer in this draft, and with how many options you have to score on this Houston team, Topic is
Hmm.
the best fit. 6'6", can pretty much do a little bit of everything. Still score the ball for you, can defend, and
Hmm.
hey, a 6'6" guard that can pass, you're gonna want that on your team. So even though the Rockets are not gonna pick here, but if the Rockets were to pick here in this scenario, I think Nikola Topic would be the correct pick.
And that's what I put too. I was torn between like a Topic or like Castle or like Rob, but I
Yeah.
went Topic too because like you said, best passer in the draft, a tall guard, and they do need a point guard. We thought Amen Thompson was going to be the next point guard, but he's clearly not a point guard. I think he's more of a
Mm,
wing or a two. So
mm,
kind of makes sense to get another. And honestly, think about the height thing there. Like Topic 6'6", Jalen Green like 6'5".
mm.
Whoever ends up being their three, if it's Cam or like maybe Amen Thompson, if he really or not, man, that's Sore Thompson.
Yeah.
He's like 6'6".
Mm,
Jabari's like 6'10". Sengun's like 7 foot. Like that's a tall team.
mm.
So yeah, I think it makes sense for the Rockets. If they do keep the pick and make the pick, Topic would make sense. But
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, but we do also know the Brooklyn Nets are big and greedy, so the Rockets may have no
True.
no chance but to
Because
stay put.
I was thinking Mikal Bridges for the third pick. We
Yeah,
probably were on the same page
that's
about that.
exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
If the
Okay.
Brooklyn Nets say no to this, I swear to God.
They're so dumb. At that point, you deserve to be a poverty franchise. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, actually,
But yeah, moving on to four. So this is the Spurs, and in the event that the Rockets do make the trade and Topic isn't the guy that the Nets pick, I would say the Spurs take Topic at four.
mhm,
But for this mock draft, I honestly went Stephon Castle. I'm not gonna lie.
mhm,
I think this is a good pick for the Spurs. Like you get a point/2 guard. Um, and I know people are gonna mention Rob, but I don't know if they're gonna want to take Rob at four instead of like maybe if he falls,
yeah,
right? So I'd say Spurs get the guy who has been, maybe the higher ceiling. He's 6'6", 210. Like he's a big guard,
Uh-huh.
and he can just straight up hoop. I know he
Mm,
has your stamp of approval, so that's a plus for you. Exactly right.
mm.
Um, so yeah, Stephon Castle. I'd say why not? Why not go get a big guard? You
Yeah.
need guards.
A
You
six
literally need
six guard
guards.
that can defend is a freak athlete when it comes to getting the rim. Yeah, you gotta love that in San Antonio. How could you
Yeah,
not?
exactly.
And he was the first ever player on this podcast to get the Joey LeMaster stamp of approval.
Yeah.
And it stayed that way back when he's projected to be picked in the 20s. And now,
Mhm.
now look how far he's made it. I think he's a great fit in San Antonio. And throughout the rest of this mock draft and on Wednesday, you're going to hear the Joey and Everton stamp of approvals and denials. We don't like some players. We don't love everybody here. We tend to hate sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
just a
we
heads
do.
up. So now we're going to go to Detroit, where it is the Pistons.
Yep.
Yeah, what a shame they're here, man. That sucks.
Bro. They can never get the number one pick. I
Uh,
swear. Every time they're at like 5, bro.
yeah,
It's
and
crazy.
Zachary Reese was supposed to be the perfect fit for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was literally the perfect fit. Damn.
Yeah, but here, since you don't got your guy, I'm stuck between a forward and a guard. I spent a lot of time thinking about this. I really wanted to go Matas Buzelis, but I think
Yeah.
he's a little too similar to Asar. So I'm going
Mm-hmm.
Reed Shepard here,
Thank
just
you.
because I think that's the best fit you're gonna get next to Cade Cunningham, a guy that can shoot the three off the ball,
Yep.
which they don't have. Also, a great defender, which they don't really
Mm-hmm.
have. And as we saw at the combine, in case you missed it, happens to be a freak athlete. Literally, you did
The
not see it in the Kentucky tape at all. But
no.
tied highest vertical in the draft is Reed freaking Shepard.
Insane. I did not. I literally when I saw, I'm like, what?
Mhm.
Where? When I've never seen him jump that high to be like, yeah, that dude has a 42-inch vert. No
Yeah.
way. So I'm so glad you picked Reed because that's
Mhm.
exactly what I was hoping. I think they should do that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a Jaden Ivey hater. I
I'm
just
not at
don't
all.
think he fits this team. In a
And
different
I'm gonna talk
situation,
about that later.
like
Mm.
that. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I won't say too much, but I think
Yeah.
Reed fits his team better because of literally just floor spacing. Like that
And
right there.
mm,
You said, and the
and
defense,
and the defense, and he has the Joey LeMaster stamp of approval.
another stamp of approval.
Yeah, we
I'm
got a
trying to say
couple more
guys who
studs
you
being handed
haven't
out.
stamped, so I'm not
Uh,
gonna stamp Reed, but I do
we can
Reed.
stamp the same guys.
We can stamp the
We can stamp the
okay.
same guys.
He has a stamp of the Everton Levy stamp of approval because I'm a big Reed
Yeah.
Shepherd guy. I'm not gonna. I really like Reed.
The double
So
stamp of approval is just game changing.
yeah,
Yeah, you're not gonna make it in the league unless you have two stamp of approvals from Joey
you
and
need
Everton.
both. If you
Yeah,
don't get both, you're cooked. No,
yeah.
I'm joking. I'm joking. Okay, so at 6, the Hornets. This one was kind of weird to me because like they have their point guard. They have Brandon Miller, who's kind of a tweener between a 2 and a 3, but I'd say more a 3, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do at the 4 if they're gonna be like bring back Miles Bridges.
Mm,
Or and I would say at the 5 they have Mark Williams, who I think is a pretty solid center, got some good potential too.
yeah.
So with that in mind, I was torn between like Stephon Castle and Matas Buzelis
Mm.
and Reed, but again, both of those two guys have already been taken. So I said, all right, cool, going Matas Buzelis. I know it's
I
kind of a
love
weird
this
one
pick.
because they have a wing already, but you can never have too many wings. I'm not gonna lie, especially tall wings like that. He can play the two. I feel like I've said this before. He's kind of like a Franz Wagner to me, where he can be
Yeah.
kind of a 2 or a 3, kind of just do anything. I'm not gonna lie, he kind of has my stamp of approval. I really like Matas Buzelis, bro.
Uh,
I like his game. I know he called out Reese a few months back.
yeah.
What? Like,
So
come on, he's a
sick.
dog.
Chicago
But
kid as well.
exactly, like 6'9",
Mm,
6'10", lanky forward who can block some shots. Like, bro,
mm,
I've seen them highlights. Only question for him is his shot, like his 3-point shot.
mm,
But I think playing next to LaMelo could also benefit this dude. Like, imagine LaMelo throwing him lobs and stuff. Like,
mm.
I think it's a fun pick. And we need some culture change in Charlotte, bro. We can't just keep
Absolutely.
getting these dudes who are like either BBL warriors or criminals. We got to get some change in there. So,
Oh my God.
Matas Buzelis, maybe a breath of fresh new air, bro. So,
Mm.
yeah, Charlotte, Matas Buzelis.
And I swear I'm not giving every player the stamp of approval, but Mutas Bazelis also does have the Joey stamp of approval. Just
Yeah.
a 6'10" forward who can kind of shoot the ball, can defend, can attack the rim, and has that dog in him. Like, this is a guy who has maybe my favorite upside in the draft. But there's just so much
Mhm.
potential with Mutas Buzelis, and
Yeah.
I think that pairing with Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball would be a blast to watch. Because
Mhm.
you can play them 2 through 3. Yeah, the Franz Wagner comparison is fantastic. So I'm all for it.
Yeah. Me too, man.
But this leads to my nightmare scenario because I don't want this pick to happen, but it's the only
I
pick
did
that really
not
makes
want this
sense here.
pick. I didn't want this. I didn't want the Blazers pick at all. I was
Yeah.
hoping you'd be the odds, to be honest.
Yeah, so the Blazers are just in an awful situation where they have like a billion guards, should go forward, technically have centers, but we don't really know what's going on. Like, who knows if Aiden's gonna play? Who knows if Robert Williams even gonna be on the court?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I felt about their pick too. Like, honestly,
I
I'm
think
gonna let you make the pick and then I'll share what I think.
there's two players that are here, and want them both not to go to Portland. I'm gonna tell you who I'm picking between Everton.
Yeah.
Either gonna go forward, Dalton Connect, or just Kling. It's just too promising of a prospect to let fall anymore.
Yeah.
But I think the Blazers are gonna want to win now, and Dalton Connect's a fun pick. He's
Mm.
the most ready player that you're gonna get on day one. And if you get like Scoot Henderson, Anthony Simons, Dalton Connect, like you're gonna have guys that want to score the ball, and Scoot's gonna want to get to the rim. So you have Dalton Connect wait in the corner, just shoot the three. He's gonna be there. And Dalton Connect can score at all three levels. This guy is athletic, loves getting the rim, has a mid-range shot, can shoot from three. So just pretty much a guy's like just gonna come in and get you some buckets. And with Jeremy Grant potentially not being on this team anymore, Dalton Connect would be a great replacement.
Okay. Call it. This might be hate. Because I didn't really care for this pick, I kind of just gave them Cody Williams. Is that crazy? And I don't even hate Cody Williams like that, but
I do.
I know you do. I don't hate him. I think he can still be a solid player, but I didn't know who to pick here, like, because I didn't want, honestly, I just did not want Klingon on this Blazers team. I know that
Not
sounds
dog.
like wow, but I don't want
I
that,
don't.
bro.
I'll be so pissed off
I
because
don't want
I
that.
love Klingon since
And
day
then
one.
don't connect. He's like 23. Why are you picking him? That wouldn't even like why? Like I
Because
get he's a
they
good
want
player,
to win.
dude. I mean, so you went Connect, right? Yeah.
I
So I
want
guess
Connect.
we're rolling with Connect, but
Mm.
I gave him Cody just to say, yeah, fuck
Yeah.
it.
Love that.
So for 8, so this one was torn for me
Yeah.
because I wasn't even sure if Klingon was gonna be here at 8.
Uh-huh.
But
How
I'm
do
not
you
gonna lie.
not?
Hold on. Here's the thing for
Okay.
me, right? The Klingon Wemby thing does sound really good, but the spacing is a little bit suspect. And unless the Spurs have an offseason where they get a bunch of shooters and stuff, that's gonna be some horrible spacing, like low key.
Absolutely.
So I thought, why not do a double guard? You drafted
Uh-huh.
Castle, he's 6'6", 210, so he can easily play the two.
Yeah.
Get Rob. That's what I felt like. Go
Okay.
get Rob.
Okay.
Like,
Aura.
right? Get Aura. He's a great like shot creator. Like obviously maybe the best shot creator in the draft.
Mhm.
Um can score from pretty much all 3 levels. The defense thing, sure, but again, he's his backcourt mate in theory is Castle. Dude, I mean,
Yeah.
like Rob and Castle, you got your 2 young guards of the future. You got freaking Wemby,
Mm.
like
And
unless the Spurs would have traded, but
don't
and
forget the most underrated player in the NBA, Everton.
Devin Vassell.
Yeah, do never forget my boy Devin Fizel.
Yeah, Devin Vassell at the 3, right?
Mhm.
He's a little short. He's about like 6'5", but we've seen that work. It's fine. I
Yeah.
don't think it's a big deal. And then whoever plays the 4, if it's Jeremy Sohan or Keldon Johnson. But regardless, no hate on Keldon Johnson. Jeremy Sohan, just you can play the 4. Just don't be
Yeah.
the 1. That's all I ask.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I think Rob and Castle, that's a really solid backcourt. That's what I like. I like that backcourt.
Yeah, and I don't think we need to tell you guys Joey and Everton stamp of approval though.
Oh, he didn't even have to say
Yeah,
that.
there's so much aura with this man. He's going to fall because of his height, but just the
Yeah,
talent there is just
it's too much. Too much
ridiculous.
pass. Yeah.
So then we're gonna go to the Memphis Grizzlies, where I think is maybe the most obvious pick we're gonna have here.
Yeah.
This has been me and Everton's dream scenario
Mm-hmm.
because the Grizzlies they want to compete next year, and they need a center to help Jaren Jackson become a Defensive Player of the Year candidate again.
Yep.
This is 1,000% Donovan Clingan if this happens.
Mm-hmm.
And if the
Yeah.
Grizzlies had a throwaway season, get Donovan Clingan in return. Hallelujah, they've won the lottery.
Perfect. Literally perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, because like Jonathan, wow, when Jaren Jackson Jr. had Steven Adams behind him, he was a defensive player of the candidate because when Steven Adams would just clamp it up and someone would finally get past him, Jaren Jackson would just come there, swat that, get that out of there.
Swat it.
When
Yeah.
that went away and the whole team got injured, we really didn't see the same Jaren Jackson Jr. There's
Mm.
such a talented player there. He just needs another guy that can not only defend, but get some rebounds because Jaren Jackson Jr. doesn't like doing that.
5
So
boards a game.
yeah. So throw in Donovan Clingan and the Grizzlies like doesn't even include free agency and they're back.
Yeah. I have nothing more to add on that. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. So y'all can call it cheating. I was like, no, bro. Clingan in Memphis would feed families. We're doing it.
Yeah, Portland's got to think about Memphis when it comes to the draft.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
not to go on too much of a side tangent here, but it's been
Hmm.
one of my favorite drafts in so long because like mock drafts they kind of get similar like through
Hmm.
previous years. Anything can happen this year,
Literally,
so this is
bro.
gonna be the most random draft of all time, and that's why
Yeah.
mock drafting's so fun.
Yeah,
But
this is probably the most
let's ruin it though.
like oh, Utah.
Yeah, who
So
cares?
literally who cares? I'm not gonna lie. Since Cody's on the board, you're a Utah Jazz player, Cody Williams. Again, I don't think he's a terrible player.
Uh-huh.
If things work out how I want to, I'll be hinting at something later. That 3 or 4 spot might be open.
Mm.
So Cody Williams, again, he's a young player. I think he can still be a good player because he's got good like height and stuff. I know his combine was a little bit suspect, but clearly scouts still see something in him for because I've seen him mocked in the top 10. So clearly the scouts are like, yeah, this guy is still good. So Utah, go get your guy. Go get Cody Williams and pair him
Mm.
next to Taylor Hendricks.
So much excitement, bro. Oh my god, I need to see that so bad. Yeah, Cody Williams gave my first stamp of denial. I've watched like 6, 7 Colorado games. So there's just never been a moment like, oh, you look like a competent NBA player. But that's
Mm,
weird because sometimes players just don't play good in college and succeed in the NBA. I just
hmm.
don't see it. Like I don't see this. Like he was getting like they say he's a good defender. No, he wasn't. Like when he was a 1-on-1, players were just getting past him scoring like effortlessly.
Yeah.
And he's not a good scorer. He's not that good of a passer. I don't see it. He's just mad and everything. And I just don't see it. If he wasn't
You know
related
what
to
you're missing? I
he's
was gonna
related to
say
Jalen Williams. That's literally
he's
the
J
only
Dub's
thing.
brother. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, but as everybody should know, there's no such thing as two pretty best friends.
True. That's very true. Hey,
Always remember that.
always remember that. Yeah.
But now we're gonna go to my Chicago Bulls. And this is gonna be one of my last stamp of approvals. I think I have one. I have three. Wait, I'll have two more after this. Wait, three more after this one. Okay, I'm bad at counting. That's why I'm a comm major that does journalism. But there's a player that skyrocketed up the lottery or the mocks the past month, and I didn't really see any
Hmm.
of his game. I watched some tape, and I fell in love with this man. I'm going with Kalel Ware, the center out of Indiana.
Wow, that's a
He
good pick.
is very freaking similar to Jarrett Allen, and I
Hmm.
want that on the Bulls so bad.
Can
He's
he
a
like low key stretch the floor?
Yeah, he can. He's a 7 foot guy that can stretch the floor, is a great shot blocker, great rebounder, not Nikola Vucevic. And he's young as well, so there's a lot going here. And I think this is a dream fit for Chicago. So this is what I would want
Hmm.
to go with.
Yeah.
So Kalel Ware, if you end up in Chicago, I'm all over this. You have to stamp my approval. You have one of the highest upsides in the draft. And Italy with the handball. Great. Love life.
Yeah, I like that pick. He literally what we've been looking for in a center right
Mm,
there. So
right
I
there at
like that
11.
pick. At 11 too. That's not a bad pick
Yeah.
at all.
And I
I
need to say
definitely
this
like
as
that pick.
well.
Yeah.
If this like Rob Dillingham is the only guard the Bulls are allowed to take here. Because I've seen so many mocks where they take a guard. If the Bulls traded for Josh Giddey, take another guard. You guys are gonna be in for one hell of a live stream on Wednesday.
Oh, I
Uh,
can't wait. I cannot wait. Because this is like you said, one of the drafts where you literally don't know what's gonna happen. It's
mhm,
literally just whatever happens, happens. Like
yeah.
usually you're like, okay, Zion's one, Ja's two, RJ's
Come on,
three.
Donnarumma!
He
Sorry.
saved it?
Yeah, Luka Modric, you fraud. My
Um,
fault, yo.
no, you're good, bro. Honestly, I respect it. Yeah, like this is one of those drafts where it's a coin flip. So
Yeah.
yeah, I like that pick though. Khalil Ware fits exactly what we looking,
Mm,
and he's young. We need to start going in the young direction.
mm.
So yeah.
Yeah. Josh
OKC
Giddey's all
at
for
12.
it. But he's young.
I should have knew you were gonna say that when you had that smile on your face, just grinning.
Donnarumma, you free. Ah,
Um, Thunder.
Luka got his
Okay,
get back.
all they scored.
Yeah, Donnarumma saved and Luka got the tap in. Croatia's alive.
Damn, damn. OKC at 12. There was a couple different directions I wanted to go here. I wasn't sure. Like,
Yeah,
I
like
think either one
what
of
were you
these.
thinking? Because you want size
So,
or you want shooting, right?
so I went either Jared McCain, Devin Carter,
Hmm.
or Tajon Salon. So it
Okay.
depends on OKC what they think matters
Mm.
most. Do you go Salon, who has maybe the most upside in the draft,
Hmm.
right?
Love
Do you
Salon.
go McCain, who can come in and be like a 6 man of the year type of guy for us? Or do you go Devin Carter, who can kind of do a bit of, he can rebound really well for his size
Yeah.
and kind of do a lot of everything in a way?
Hmm.
Do you go for that guy who's a bit older? Like, it's kind of what direction I think they want to go. And I'm not gonna lie, I think we have the assets to just go upside. I want Salon. I'm not gonna lie.
Hmm.
Pause. I want them to draft him because like we already have our team set up in a way where like we have the guys to win now. Why not go swing and go get some dude who might be like Giannis or something?
Yeah.
We don't know. We have the picks for it. We don't have to go get like we don't have to get this correct. I've learned for OKC, we don't have to get every pick correct. We can get some guys where it's like, and then he pans out. We're like, oh, you know.
Uh-huh.
So at 12, Salon, I think
Yeah.
make that pick.
I love that. And him and Dieng in the G League next season is
Hmm.
going to be disgusting.
We won the G League championship because of Dieng. So
And
maybe those two.
you guys about to run it back.
Yeah.
There's just so many high upside guys going on in Oklahoma City. And I love that.
Hmm.
The only thing is with the Thunder having a lot of money, I'm gonna assume they're gonna get their center this offseason paying somebody.
Hmm.
But let's say if they weren't going to do that, I'd love Edie in this spot.
That would be another one too.
But I
Yeah.
think the Thunder are gonna spend, so that's why I think they'd go center here.
Same. Literally same. I didn't think I think we're gonna go get some other center. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
love that. And now we have one more stamp of approval because Tajan Salon also does have the Joey LeMaster stamp of approval.
Yeah. Okay.
I freaking love the upside with him. So let's go on to Sacramento. They're gonna have an interesting offseason. They gotta make a move. I'll talk about that later.
Hey, okay.
So what do I think they'll do here? I mean, say resign Malik Monk, so you're not really got to stress guard too hard. I mean, if they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get one, they're gonna trade one, so it's got to be a forward.
Mm-hmm.
And hmm, I'm not sure how much I love the fit, but
Yeah.
Ron Holland can only fall
Yeah.
so far,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, he might be able to start right away because
Yeah, low
you get a
key.
good defender who can score off ball, and I think that's great for Sacramento. You can let De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis still do their thing, and have Ron Holland wait in there, break some defensive upside, which doesn't really exist in Sacramento. And I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I think because the Kings, they got to get ready to start winning now. They can only start failing so much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think Ron Holland, there's also great upside in that player. He had some first player opportunities in the G League, which helps a player grow a lot, even if it isn't successful. Like this is a great learning curve to get out of the way.
Yeah.
So I think Ron Holland's going to be a great fit in Sacramento.
Yeah, I put either Holland or McCain, but McCain was on the back end because they got Monk. In most mocks I wanted them to get a guard because of the thought that they wouldn't re-sign Monk, but since they re-signed him, they kind of do need more of a forward. So yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
Ron Holland is the pick here. A lot of upside too. The fit is like you said, a little like but I think upside is too much to pass on. So yeah, I agree
And
with that
Kings,
pick.
you just need a win now. Take BPA.
Yeah, yeah, true. That's true too. Okay, so 14. I hate picking for this team, man. Like,
Yeah,
so
I mean, I got my turn out of the way. Now you have less options to work with,
like
sucker.
literally, like the two names I put here are off the board, Salon and Holland,
Yeah.
and you
Why?
drafted Connect. So
Yeah.
like
What do you even do here? Like,
that's the part that's like, oh my, like what do you? Because they have guards. Now I'm hoping they move off of Simons. No hate to him, but like for his own sake,
are we gonna talk about that later?
I, what, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not,
Hmm.
we won't. We won't. We won't. I'm not even trying to hype it up. We won't be talking about that later. But um, dude, who do the Blazers pick here, bro? Hmm. Getting Blazers, man. Oh my. Like, I'm sorry. You know what? Let's just draft. Okay, what do you think? Who do you have here? Because
Nah,
it's
nah.
fuck.
You don't get to bail out of Trailblazers, bro. I had to get in
Damn,
my
bro.
trenches.
Fuck it, bro. I think just pick either McCain or Carter, bro. Like, those are some of the best players available at this point.
Hmm.
Help you win. Let's just go McCain. He's the younger prospect.
Yeah.
He might be able to fit in with this younger team. Go Jared McCain. He's a solid player as well.
Yeah, I
Marlon.
love Jared McCain. I mean, I love how he can stretch the floor, literally hustles for everything. It's ridiculous. This guy's a
Yeah.
dog,
Yeah.
and he's a lot of fun. Just not gonna be a lot of fun in Portland.
No.
They're getting up there with Jazz category,
No, literally, bro. Oh my
which is such a shame
gosh,
because they
dude.
have fun players on that team. It's just they're so weird.
Let's just move on. I can't deal with the Blazers anymore, bro. That was stressful for no reason, bro. Gosh.
Love that. And so we're gonna move on to the Miami Heat. And a little bit, I think on the past podcast, we talked about what players' best fits would be. I believe Everton
Hmm.
said Isaiah Collier to the Miami Heat. And I
Hmm.
absolutely love that. They're fantastic at developing players. And we
Yeah.
saw what happened with, wow, I'm having a massive brain fart for literally no reason. Yeah, we saw having sorry about that. We saw having with Derek Lively, where like he was a number one player in his recruiting class. Wasn't fantastic at Duke. He was still good, but he wasn't great.
Hmm.
And then he goes to Maverick, like, oh, this is why you were the best player in your class.
Yeah.
So let's do that with one of the teams that are the best at developing players in the draft. And Isaiah
Hmm.
Collier, the Heat need a backup point guard desperately. So he's gonna come, he's gonna
Yeah.
make an impact right away. His
Hmm.
ability to get to the basket, he is so freaking quick, man. He's got some serious De'Aaron Fox in his game. And if you can develop De'Aaron Fox as your backup point guard, potentially soon to be started, go make that move.
Yeah. At 15 too. That's a pretty
Mm,
solid pick too. Yeah. I wrote him down as my guy too, because obviously, like I said in the past video, best fit. I've been wanting this right here. So Kali at 15, I'm
mm.
right behind that. 16. So I had McCain here, kind of, but again, the Blazers are getting McCain. So I'm kind of torn between Devin Carter and De Silva. I think De Silva makes more sense in the prospect of Tobias Harris. Goodbye. So with Tobias Harris being booted off the roster, I think De Silva is a guy to kind of, I'm not gonna say plug and play. He's literally Tobias Harris in the draft. No, but just another wing player to come in and space the floor and just be a solid wing. Now defensively, hmm, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you're getting a floor spacer. You're getting a 6'9" wing, similar to Tobias Harris, just way cheaper. Like if you're getting
Please.
Tobias Harris making like $4 or $5 million a year, whoo. Now when you get Tobias Harris making $40 million a year, no, you
Yeah.
don't want that.
Not-
So with that in mind, I think that's not a bad pick for Philly.
Yeah, you couldn't phrase that any better. I love that. He's older. He's going to contribute right away. As we said, defensive liability, but he's getting them shots up. And yeah, Tobias Harris for cheap. Yeah, that's fine. We'll put up with
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
And then we're going to go to Los Angeles Lakers, who also need some shooting. And I don't think I'm going to actually take shooting here, which is the funny part.
Hmm.
I just, Devin Carter's not going to fall any farther. I love Devin Carter.
Yeah.
Devin Carter just contributes so much to the game of basketball. It's kind of the Lakers game. They don't really shoot, but they
Hmm.
get some dogs that can help on the defense side of the ball. And Devin Carter can bring some rebounding in, get that guard off the bench, and it's just I think it's gonna be a good fit for the Lakers. And it's not Bronny James.
Yeah, if we when we're watching this thing on Wednesday, if I see the Lakers pick Bronny, unserious. You already hired JJ, which whatever. Um JJ and Bronny being your off-season acquisitions.
Mm.
Come on.
There's
Come
a
on.
couple franchises competing for most unserious franchise, and they're up there.
They're up there for sure. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I don't think Carter's gonna fall past 17, bro, honestly. So yeah, I like that pick as well. 18. So I had De Silva as a guy, maybe, but he's gone. I think it's between two guys for me because I think a trade's gonna happen, but we will discuss that later.
Ooh,
Uh Jacoby Walter or Johnny Furphy or Furphy, however you
yeah,
say his name. So for Furphy, from what I hear, he's a shooter, right?
mm,
And he's got some size to him.
yeah.
Gosh. Um, for Orlando, obviously we know they're not a great 3-point shooting team, so why not get a guy from Kansas? Not a bad shooter. And then for Walter, he's got some solid upside as a two guard. I've hinted at this. I did want Orlando to get Malik Monk, but that's not happening. Now I'm not saying Kobe Walter is legit Malik Monk, but he's a young guy, not a bad pick. I think I'm gonna go Jacoby Walter just off the upside. And I mean, early on in the season, we were like, "Yo, Jacoby Walter is tough." Then as the season progressed, we were like, "Oh, he's young. Okay, cool." But again, still
Love the
got
way
some
you phrase
solid
that.
upside. So I'm gonna go Jacoby Walter.
Yeah, that's a stamp of denial pick for me. I'm not a Jacoby Walter believer at all. And it was funny
Mm.
enough because I'm also not a Furphy believer. That was also another player I had on the denial list.
Hmm.
And as much as I love the Magic, man, if they're picking between my two players that deny, I won't be heartbroken.
Yeah. Okay, I get that.
But
Makes
they need
sense.
they need shooting, and I do see that Walter does have 3-and-D upside, which is nice for the Magic. It's just I just don't haven't seen the player yet. But he's young. He's only a freshman. I gotta cut him some slack.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And now we're gonna go to Toronto, and they gotta bring their Canadian boy home.
Yes.
This is going to be Zach Edey.
Yep.
He's gonna contribute day one, and people are gonna be pissed off. But I'm gonna say I told you guys. Zach
Mm-hmm.
Edey's ready. The size is there. Defensive monster can still get you a bucket. Not a height merchant. And this Toronto team, they're gonna have fun. They're getting ready to pay Scotty Barnes 270 million, so they gotta get ready to compete now. And Zach Edey's one of those players that are ready to compete now.
I see people hating on that contract.
It's just what's where we're at in the NBA now. People grow up.
True. True that, bro. It's annoying. But
Yeah.
Edie was one of the guys I had here too. So glad we
Yeah.
agreed on
And
that.
bring him home. Because that's gonna
Bring
be
him
one of the few
home.
that's one of the few places he'll get cheered.
Exactly. Yeah, because people hate Zach Edey. I don't
Yeah.
really, because he's tall, I guess, but it's a weird reason to hate
Short
somebody.
people like me are just jealous.
I guess I'll say never mind to that. So 20 was the Cavs. So I was hoping Khalil Ware would be here, but he is definitely not here.
Yeah.
Um, I went with Carlton Carrington. I know it's kind of an odd pick,
No, that's an
but
awesome pick.
right, he's I think the youngest player in the draft.
He is.
He's low key a bucket, so,
Yes, he
solid point
is.
guard. Um,
He's got some
you know
Rob
what?
in him.
Low key,
If
right?
Rob was like taller.
And lankier because I feel like his arms are longer
Yeah,
too.
he's like 6'4".
Yeah. So Carlton Carrington, we don't know what Garland. We don't know what the Cavs are in a weird spot. So I feel like
Mm,
get the guy who's the youngest player in the draft. I feel like he's got some upside as a guard too. So I have nothing more to say. I think this is a really good pick because he's got like a score, bro.
mm. Dude, could you imagine the Cavs made no moves?
Yo, if the Cavs make no moves, unserious. The only thing you did right was hiring Kenny Atkinson. I do like
Yeah,
that as a hiring. So
nice. Yeah, that was a good move by Cleveland indeed.
yeah.
So it's gonna move us to New Orleans. And I'm gonna make a pick. I hate Everton, like with a
Hmm.
passion.
Okay.
Need a big that could stretch the floor really bad.
Oh no.
And the idea of Kyle Filipowski is so awesome. A seven foot
Stamp of
one,
denial.
yeah, serious stamp of denial. But a 7'1" guy that can stretch the floor and block shots is like the dream build in the NBA.
Hmm.
So Kyle Filipowski is gonna get taken. And the Pelicans, it's a player you need as pair next to Zion, so that could be a fun fit. It's not gonna
Yeah.
work out, but I can see why they would do it.
Hmm.
So I'm going Filipowski, but serious stamp of denial, like serious stamp of denial over here.
Yeah, I can't even argue again. I've on paper, like who am I, Anthony Smith? On paper, it makes sense, but
Yeah.
we don't. We know we've seen through your lies, Kyle, bro. We know who
Yeah.
you are. Phoenix. So I had.
Bronny, Bronny, Bronny.
I'm not doing that pick. I know that's what people think is gonna happen, and it might actually happen. But what I think the Suns should do. So I was between Carlington, but
Mm,
again, Carrington. Sorry, he's in Cleveland. The other two guys. Here's the thing: Tyler Kolek.
hmm
I like that pick because they need a point guard. You
Yeah.
cannot keep getting away with having D Book and Bradley Bill being whoever is a point guard. You gotta hot take. Bradley Bill could be coming out from the bench next year. Hot
hmm
take. So,
That's not ridiculous. That's not
not
ridiculous to say that.
right. I think he should be coming off the bench, and I think Tyler Kolek, solid point guard, older guard as well. So that means he'll probably come in and help you right away, or you go use Missy and get a center. But I think point guard is your more like you need that position fixed. So
Mhm.
Tyler is the pick for me.
Yeah, I love that. He's a point guard that can pass the ball. I really loved him at Marquette, and
Hmm.
not enough people are saying this, but I'm telling you guys, watch this man shoot some left-handed layups. Like I'm telling you, it goes in 95% of the time. It's ridiculous. It doesn't matter how contested it is. If it's left-handed, it goes in. And he's not
Hmm.
that tall, so I don't know how he scores over these
No
taller guys. But yeah, I'm a big
skill.
not giving him the stamp of approval, but I am a big Tyler Kolek fan. So I love that pick for Phoenix, and
Yeah.
hopefully he contributes right away. Him and Grayson Allen though, that's gonna be that's that's a weird backcourt.
Yeah. I can't even say too much about that one.
Yeah, no, that'll be fun to watch. And then we're gonna go to another team that's in a crap hole. It's gonna be the Milwaukee Bucks. I think I gotta hand out my final stamp of approval pick. I really want this guy to go to New York, which would be the next
Mm,
two picks. He
yeah.
is so awesome though. You guys gotta get to watch this Deron Holmes tape. This guy is
Mm-hmm.
a 6'9" forward that can post up like crazy and can stretch the floor, block shots, agile on his feet. I honestly think would not be surprised if he goes earlier. Like I know he got that green room invite, which means he's gonna go early. Someone's giving him a promise, which I
Mm,
think is New York, but Deron Holmes is the real deal. He's my final state of approval. His type of build is like it's tough in 2024 to find these guys that are willing to put in the post work like he does. But the
yeah.
fact he can still put in this post work and still stretch the floor and can be a defensive help as well. Like he can still play switch defense, which is hard to find in bigs in the NBA. That's gonna be an awesome
Mm,
fit for Milwaukee. And they need defense and scoring, which that's gonna be a great fit.
yeah. I like that pick. I think in our last mock draft I had him here, so we agree on that. 24 the Knicks. The Knicks have actually back-to-back picks, so kind of just whatever they want to do here.
Mm,
And I went with Ryan Dunn.
mm.
I think he's been said to be one of the best defensive players in this
He is.
draft.
He's really Matthias
So,
Thybulle.
right, which can be, Matthias Thybulle is like, offensively, which I
Yeah.
think Ryan Dunn might be better than him offensively. Not as saying much because it's not like it's a huge gap, but I think the defensive look. Tom Thibodeau loves them wings who play some defense. Ryan
Yeah.
Dunn fits that build. He's a dude who I think can fit this scrappy Knicks team. I like this pick, honestly.
No, he's gonna be a lot of fun. That's a great fit. But I have worry for their next pick because
Mm,
I really want to go a guard off the bench. I can get some scoring. Like Keyshawn George has great size. There's a lot of great
mm,
potential there. I
yeah.
want to look at Terrence Shannon, even though Shannon can't
Mm,
shoot the ball, but Shannon knows how to get to the rim and is crazy on the fast break.
mm-hmm,
But I'm really worried if Isaiah Hartenstein's actually going to be here come the end of free agency. I
mm,
have a like I know the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to be all over that. Teams are going to want to pay Hartenstein, and they got to worry about OG as well.
yep.
So I think they have to pick Yves Massi here, who's a
That's a good pick.
fantastic player, legit
Mm-hmm,
lob threat, gets rebounds, good shot blocker, and he's gonna be able to play right away. So
yep.
I'm gonna have the Knicks going Yves Massi here.
Yeah, I think and the Robinson trade rumors for some reason. Mitch Robinson's in like trade rumors too. So yeah, I like that pick
What is
too.
going on in New York?
I don't know. I don't
They,
even know why though, but
they must
yeah,
really like. I think they're gonna trade up for Deron Holmes. In all honesty,
that's
that's a
not a bad.
mistake here.
It's not a bad pick.
I
But
mean, they got
yeah,
picks to make it work. Might as well use
uh,
them at some point.
yeah, I like that pick. Messi makes a lot of sense. It kind of feels like he's low, but I guess
Mm.
it's kind of just a fit thing.
Yeah, I mean that's what this draft is. A lot of it's fit, just because you have a lot of players that can be really good role players. So you gotta just take which role players can fit best for your roster.
Yeah, I agree. So the Wizards, scarring. They're a hard team to draft, but honestly, I went Terrence Shannon. Like,
Okay.
can score the ball. This team, bro, they can kind of draft whoever they want to. So that's why I didn't really care for like position stuff. I had Holmes as a maybe, but he's gone. Um, and I even put Flip here if he were to fall to Washington, because hey,
Mm.
fuck it, put Kyle Filipowski in Washington, right? Um, but no, I need to stop doing that. I need to stop doing that. But yeah, I just went to Terrence Shannon because he could score. Why not pick him? I
Mhm.
mean, I would like to see him in a contending type of team, to be honest. But who am I to say
You need
Washington won't
buckets in
just
Washington, man.
exactly? You can't just keep saying Kuz and Jordan Poole. All
Yeah.
right, guys. No, need some
you,
other guys.
you really need that
Denny?
shot. You really need the shot to come around for Terrence Shannon. Like I'm not gonna, he can't shoot the ball at
No.
all. But
Yeah.
that man on the fast break is something to behold, and that's where the current state of NBA basketball is. That it's that 3 point shooting. He fits one of those things you need. So that'd be fun in Washington. Him and Alex
Mm,
Sarr, they'd be ready to flip the culture in Washington. They
hmm
go from worst team to like 13th. Yeah, tap in, guys. Then the Timberwolves. Hmm. I'm stuck between two guys.
hmm
One's gonna contribute right away, and the other one's more of a project.
Yeah.
Tyler Smith's a forward that can stretch the floor and still
Mm,
has great size. So you can start getting him to work in the paint as well.
hmm
But Baylor Shireman is going to get you 3 point shooting, which the Timberwolves were lacking so bad, and he's going to contribute day freaking one.
hmm
And I think that's what we gotta lean on. The Timberwolves, they needed 3 point shooting. It kind of hurt them in the playoffs. I think Baylor Shireman is a great player you can get off the bench.
Yeah, that's what I put here too.
I'm telling
I
you, these
like the
older guys are going to be dangerous picks this year. Like they're going to help
yeah.
teams win right away.
Yeah. And he's got good size too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's 6'7".
Yeah. So I like that pick as well. Denver. Um, dang. I mean, Tyler Smith wouldn't be a bad pick for them
No.
because DeAndre Jordan, where is he at now? Is he a free agent? I
He
don't even know.
should. He shouldn't be on a team.
No. Tyler Smith is a big that they could bring in. He's got, like you said, great size, can stretch the floor. That's a really good player to have next to like Jokic.
Mm,
And then obviously like Zeke Nnaji, like okay, buddy. So yeah, I think I liked Baylor here too, just to be another guy who can score and stretch the floor for the Nuggets because at times that was definitely a issue for them.
mm.
But I think Tyler Smith, in terms of like big depth, yeah, I like that pick for them.
I'm a big fan of Tyler Smith's. It's just the potential we didn't really see in the G League, but the
Mm,
potential's there. I can see why you love a player like that.
yeah,
And then I was bound to make a Utah Jazz pick, wasn't I? So we had them go going with Cody Williams earlier. I'm gonna have them go with a guard that I think has a lot of upside. He really
yeah,
didn't get that much burn in Miami, but there's a serious
hmm
player here in Keyshawn George. He has great ball movement, great size, great wingspan. He can kind of play the 1 and 2 and potential play a three as well. Good defender. It's just you kind of need anything going on in Utah, and there's a lot of upside in Keyshawn George. I'm gonna say this now. I know we have him going 29. If he's borderline lottery on come Wednesday, I'm not gonna be surprised. I just didn't see the fit yet, but Keyshawn George is getting a lot of hype, and I can understand why.
yeah. So that leaves me with the Celtics at 30. So I figured Kyle was gonna fall here, like flip and just let him go play in Boston. Like, why not?
Yeah,
This is a tough one. I also thought George would have been nice too. Um, oh, you know what? Since he hasn't come, I don't think he's been picked yet. Furphy.
yeah, Furphy, that's what I was thinking.
I think Furphy's a good pick. Like getting him at 30 is honestly not that bad.
I hate him though, so
Again,
that'd be a perfect player for me to hate Boston some more.
exactly, right? Go
Yeah,
send him to Boston, right? Just
I mean,
Furphy
fits
could
their
space the
style.
floor.
I'll say fits their style play as well with their 5 out spacing.
Yeah, because they shoot threes, and he's gonna be shooting threes. He's got solid size, young player. Why not? You have the
Yeah,
30th pick.
yeah, just see what's gonna hit. I mean, it's not like you need much help,
No, exactly.
and that is going to be the final mock draft of 2024. We had a lot of fun, me and Everton, doing this throughout the past like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
But let me run it down for you. I got it all written down.
Okay.
Let's see if I can keep it together. The first pick, the Atlanta Hawks are going to take Zachary Risache. Then the
Mm-hmm.
Washington Wizards will follow that up with Alexander Sarr. The Rockets will not be picking here. It's going to ruin our mock draft because they're going to trade. But this will be Nikola Topic if they stay.
Yeah.
Met Spurs take Stephon Castle. The Pistons were going to go Reed Shepard. The Charlotte Hornets will go Matas Buzelis. And the Trailblazers will take Dalton Connect.
Yeah.
The Spurs get another guard and get Rob Dillingham to create some crazy aura in San Antonio. And then our favorite pick of the draft, the Memphis Grizzlies take Donovan Clingan. The Utah Jazz take Cody Williams, and then my Chicago Bulls take Khalil Ware. And then Everton's Thunder take Tajan Salan. The Sacramento Kings take Kevin Holland, and the Portland Trail Blazers take Jared McCain. The Miami Heat take Isaiah Collier, and the 76ers take Tristan De Silva. The Los Angeles Lakers take Devin Carter, and the Magic take Jacoby Walter. The Toronto Raptors bring their homeboy and Zach Edey, and the Cavs pretty much get Darius Garland as they take Carrington. The New
Mm-hmm.
Orleans Pelicans will take Kyle Filipowski, and the Suns will find their point guard in Tyler Kolek. The Milwaukee Bucks will take Deron Holmes, and then the Knicks go back to back where they take Ryan Dunn and Yves Massey. The Washington Wizards will take Terrence Shannon Jr., and the Timberwolves get a day one contributor in Baylor Shireman. The
Yep.
Denver Nuggets go with potential for Tyler Smith. The Utah Jazz take Keyshawn George, and the Boston Celtics end the draft with Johnny Furphy.
Yep.
Let
Not
us
bad.
know. Yeah. Let us know what you thought. This video will be uploaded to podcast can be uploaded today. This video is gonna be uploaded tomorrow. Let us know what you guys thought. I know here's the thing with this. I said this mock draft's gonna be all over the place like everybody else's. No one's gonna like the draft. I'm already seeing this all the time. It's just everybody has a different mock draft this year, which is
Yeah.
just it's so much fun. I'm excited.
Me too. Me too, bro.
But we got more offseason talk to do, Everton.
Yep.
I know
Okay.
we discussed the plan before. I'm gonna be honest, I forgot. Are we talking trades? We talking free agency?
I'm not gonna lie. I also kind of forgot too, but I think it was free agency.
All right, then let's go free agency. Me and Everton, we're cooking up some dreams over here. What are our dream scenarios that happen this off? Well, mine's half dreams, half predictions.
Yeah.
But Let's see, Everton. Here are some predictions as dreams we want to see happen in free agency. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'm gonna go first because I kind of want to see how you react to this first one.
Okay.
Because I know you're not. I know. I must look at your face when I say this. So,
Mm.
first one, I think this is more of a prediction.
Yeah.
Paul George to the New York Knicks.
Not Everton. You want to know something really funny?
What?
You want to know what number one is on my free agent list?
No way. It's the same thing.
My handwriting's really dog water, but it says Paul George to New York Knicks. You can't read it,
Damn
but
it! I was trying to
I'm on
piss.
the I'm on the same wavelength,
We
unfortunately.
we. Damn. Okay. Well, we got the same thought
Yeah.
process there. I guess I'll just tell my thought process behind it. It wasn't just strictly to piss you off, by the way. I actually do think that I want to see this,
I
but
appreciate it.
but like I think for the first off, y'all have been hearing the Clippers have been like low key lowballing Paul George from what I've been hearing, and I don't think he'll be back there. So finally, bro, I've been tired of that era.
Mm,
I think New York, like this is a good. I know some people have their feelings about Paul George and his age and all that, but I think if you can get Paul George to be your number two, because Jalen Brunson
mm,
is your number one, let's get that out the way now.
mm,
You know, depending on how you do with this, if you do a sign and trade where you're like Julius Randle, skedaddle, we got Paul George, cool,
mm,
that's perfect. You tell me Brunson, PG, Ananobi, Hart, DiVincenzo, like, come on, that's a stacked lineup.
mm,
And then of course PG's a defender, obviously not the defender he used to be, but he can still lock up. He can still
yeah,
play some defense. I think with less offensive load, it's right on the money.
mm,
But in the off chance that they would have to give up Ananobi in the sign and trade where they go like this, here's my last thing. For the money that Ananobi's been asking for, I won't lie. If you can spend that money on Paul George and Anunoby, I know the age thing is a bit there, and maybe the fit. Well, not really the fit's worse because I think PG offensively is better than Anunoby, and the defensive gap. While Anunoby is a better defender, I think PG's not such a shit defender. So all in all, I think it's actually a solid move for New York. You get in a second star who, Jalen Brunson had to literally was their whole entire offense last year. Like in the playoffs, it was like, hey, we're gonna play some defense. Jalen Brunson literally do everything on offense. Like
mm,
you just be our offense. I
mm,
think PG is a good addition to that to help out, so to take pressure off.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Paul George and Julius Randle on the same team. My favorite team to watch last season become my least favorite team that quick.
Hopefully it's a swap. Hopefully it's
Yeah.
Rando for PG
Yeah.
because that yeah, I
Dude,
would hope
I'd be
it's
cool with that, but
yeah.
unfortunately, I thought of this move as well because like they're doing the second guys you said, but you kind of touched on it. I really
Mm-hmm.
don't think they're gonna bring OG back, and that's gonna break my heart. And that's why my second move, I think
Mm-hmm.
OG Anunoby is a Philadelphia 76er.
I like that. Mm-hmm.
I mean, putting that next to Tyrese Maxey, like Maxey took such a massive leap this season.
Mm-hmm.
Give him the best perimeter defender in the NBA and see what Maxey can do. And he can still be a third scorer for you guys as well. And that 76er team is going to be disgusting. They're going to be so freaking
Wait,
good if they pull this
I
off.
like how you mentioned Maxi without even mentioning Embiid.
Dude, I don't care. We know the real stars. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. It's just we know how good Embiid is. I just think this move benefits Maxey more than does Embiid because like OG, like we saw in the playoffs, he was like Embiid was putting the work on him in the post. So it's not like OG is going to be helping in that aspect. So
Mhm.
it's just OG is going to be a third scorer, which this team lacked in the playoffs. And
Yeah.
he's going to be the defender they lacked in the playoffs. Like Nicholas
Mhm.
Batum, he's cool and all. Can't be your best perimeter defender in some
No,
moments. So
no.
that's why I think you bring in OG Philadelphia. They take a legit championship level leap.
I like that. I was thinking I didn't put that down, but I like that. Like OG, I think I think it works out for both. Like the Knicks, if you're not gonna overpay Anunoby, get PG. Cool. I like that as a signing. And if
Mm,
you're the Sixers, you don't get PG, which honestly, I think PG's better off in New York than he is in Philly. Go get Anunoby.
mm.
That's a really good pickup for them. So I like that
Yeah,
pickup.
and Philadelphia has the money to pay. Just don't give it to
Yeah.
Tobias Harris.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, no. Okay, so my next one, this one is more of a dream for me specifically. It's Isaiah Hartenstein, OKC. I know it's kind of like the big thing everybody's talking about, but look, we need bigs. Like, if the draft goes on expected, we get Salon, cool. That's our project player. Get a big. We need another big, if not two. Like Jalen Williams, the other Duke Dennis.
Yeah.
He's like 6'8", 6'9". He's more of a four. Let's be honest. He's more of a stretch four with some solid size. Get Chet another big, so we can't just say Chet. Your 7'2", 200-pound self is our only big. No,
Yeah.
Isaiah Hartenstein proved in the playoffs he can do some solid things as a big. I like that. Let's do
Mm.
that. That's what I want.
Yeah, Isaiah Hartenstein's such a dog, and this New York collapse would just ruin me.
Ugh,
That's
yeah, I
why
know.
I had the Thunder go with Nicholas Claxton, who is
Mm,
somehow not a restricted free agent. And
mm,
there's no way he's going back to Brooklyn. Not a single chance. And he gives you that big you're looking for. There'll be some moments where you even run Chet at the 4 and Claxton at the 5, and that's just disgusting.
mm. Yeah.
Claxton kind of can do a little bit of everything. He can play defense, he can get rebounds, he still gets you like 10, 12 points a game. And I know Thunder like to run that 5 out, which Claxton would kind of ruin a little bit. But at some
Mm,
moments, you can't always run 5 out. You need a little bit
no.
of diversity, and Claxton
Mm,
gives you that big man that you are dying for. And
yeah.
we talk about with the Grizzlies how good Jaren Jackson was. We had another defender where that Jaren Jackson could be the like guy that's lurking.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine Chet Holmgren being the guy lurking rather than the guy waiting for you in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
Chet Holmgren can be a legit defensive player of the year candidate next year if there's this move like this that were to take place.
Yeah. I like that one. I keep forgetting he's unrestricted.
Yeah, 2K's
That's
fault.
what yeah, yeah, exactly that. It literally that fault. But with him being unrestricted, I would love that. I won't lie. Because if either he's playing the 5 next to next to Chet or what just happened?
Samaka missed an easy tap in from Kiesa to tie at the 86th.
Wait, so, what is it? 1-0?
Yeah, it's 1-0.
Wait, are you guys third?
We're third at the moment.
Oh,
We'll still
damn.
qualify, but like that was a
That,
beautiful pass by Kiesa, man. That's got to be tapped in.
I mean, Euros Chiesa needs to be studied. Um, but yeah, I would like that pick. But I mean that signing for sure. And then this is my last one. This one's a bit of like a so I went for one that I think is gonna happen, one that I'd love to happen, one that's kind of like a wild card, like whoa,
Mm.
where'd that come from? DeMar DeRozan to the Los Angeles Clippers,
I've been hearing those rumors.
right?
Praying it's a
So
sign and trade.
yeah. I'm hoping it's a
Praying.
sign and trade. From my understanding, I would like it to be like 'cause I don't want. First off, I think they'll probably give him around 20 some million, none too crazy.
Mm.
If that's the money that he's getting, I say if I'm the Bulls, take on a Norman Powell contract. It's only about 1 or 2 years because just to make the salary match,
Mm.
and then get I don't know like Brandon Boston or something, Kobe Brown, one of those young guys that the Clippers have that don't really
Yeah.
play, right? Get one of those
Mm.
young guys and maybe a pick,
Yeah.
right? I don't know how many picks the Clippers have.
Big ask for the Bulls.
Yeah.
You want them to get a pick? Whoa.
Whoa, a
Yeah.
pick. They might even offer him a pick like, whoa, we don't want
Huh.
that. No, keep that. No. But hopefully a pick.
Yeah.
So I think in that for the Bulls, you get rid of DeRozan, you at least get some
Mm.
sort of thing in return. I know Norman Powell's not a long term, but you need to have somebody making some sort of money because I know there's rules in place for that.
Yeah.
And he's a solid player. Cool. You could
Mm.
even flip him, honestly,
Mm.
and get some more assets. And then if you get one of those young guys, I would have said Bones, but we already have too many guards, but we don't need another one. That's
Yeah.
just
I mean,
no,
the
too
Bulls love their
much.
guards. They might
They
play. I mean,
do.
Josh Giddey might be playing power forward this season. And like, I
Low
swear on my
key.
life, I'm not even trolling.
You're probably not even trolling
Like, I
because he
saw
might.
Javante Green run the power forward. Like,
And he's
anything's
like
possible.
Javante Green's like the same height as me.
He's 6'5".
So oh no, he's taller than me. But
Yeah.
um
Like, Giddey
yeah,
might
that's
run some center minutes. He's
that's
6'8". Like,
dude. Billy Donovan might be foaming at the mouth at that idea.
yeah.
But no, all in all, like you can get some solid assets, nothing too crazy. The pick is the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
And then for the Clippers, look, it looks like PG's not going to be returning. Why not just bring DeMar DeRozan back home? He's from LA. He
Yeah.
was with Kendrick Lamar the other day. Bring
He's
him back
gonna
home.
make that joke. Like, it was just so funny. He was literally at Kendrick's concert literally the next day. DeMar's interested in going to the Clippers. Like, that boy had too much fun in Compton.
Wait, did you see DJ Academics reacting to the concert? Bro.
He's like, I respect the level of hatred in all
No,
honesty.
he said, Westbrook, you never get in the ring. Bro, what are you talking about, bro? You should be more about Drake, bro.
No, I respect it. Like, that's top tier hating.
That is top tier hate. I can't even be mad at it. But yeah, DeMar's the Clippers. He's always been hinting at going back to Los Angeles to either play for the Lakers or the Clippers. I
Let
don't
it
go play
happen.
with Kawhi and James Harden, bro. Do
Yeah,
your
and
thing.
DeMar, I've hated on you for so long, but these past year and a half, I've really gained a lot of respect for you for like the effort you put in with Chicago. Like,
Mhm.
it's not your fault they built Dookie around you.
Dude,
Go
yeah.
go have some fun. Go return home. I'll be cheering for you.
Yeah.
Actually, I hate the Clippers. I might not.
I don't
Yeah, I'll
I'm
root
not
for
a
you, but
yeah.
like,
I don't rock with the Clippers like
yeah.
crazy. I used to be a guy who rocked with the Clippers because of the Lob City days, but like DeMar, I've always been a big DeMar fan, so I'd be happy to see it.
And then so I have two more moves. I'm gonna go by a little quick. Everton, was that all the three you had?
Yeah, it's all three I got. Yeah.
Okay, so I have Buddy Hield to the Magic. They desperately
Yep.
need a shooter. Go get him.
hmm We said this in the
When we did our
GM.
yeah, the five
Yeah.
out GM, which was a lot of fun. I wish we did
Yeah.
more of those.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
know.
this next one, okay. I'm gonna let you get your like drinking because I don't want you to like spit it out or anything when I say this one.
hmm
I promise this is not a troll.
Okay.
I would be somewhat interested if Klay Thompson went to the Detroit Pistons. They desperately need
They
shooting in
yeah,
Detroit, and he's not going back to Golden State. And
no.
they like to, this is their type of signing, these older guys. And so, like, hey, bring Clay there. Just tell him to sit in the corner. Don't make him rely on how to do defense. Like, just put all of his energy towards shooting, and maybe he can be your Walmart Ray Allen.
If there's one place where he would make sense, because I ain't gonna lie, I don't want him to go to Orlando, bro. Please.
No,
I
that
want Orlando to
would
keep
ruin my
doing
life. I'd be so mad.
Detroit. Go get Clay. Honestly, I don't hate it. I get your
Go
understanding
get paid.
because like he'll get paid. They need shooters. They legit
So
need
bad.
shooters. And with Clay, look, shot 39% from three. So it's not like he just can't shoot, you
Mm.
know. So he clearly will the gravity will still be there. The only thing you have to remember, Klay Thompson went 0 for 10 in an elimination game. I swear I see those comments
It
everywhere,
literally doesn't
dude.
matter what the Instagram post is. I have nothing to do with NBA, and you'll still see
Bro,
it.
I seen Ronaldo get an assist. This is cool. Remember Klay Thompson had one went 0 for 10 and I'm like, damn, y'all, what are you talking about?
Dude,
But yeah, I
online
think that would
trolls
be
are
a
no
good
joke.
signing, to be honest.
Yeah, so that's our free agency predictions, dreams, whatever you want to call it. Would love to know what you guys think is going to happen in the free agency. But that's not the only type of move that's going to happen this offseason because we have
Nope.
trades.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not glad. I did some cooking here. I'm excited.
I,
I try
I
not to just go straight off like Twitter. Like some of these, like I just randomly cooked up in my head. I was pretty proud of myself for what we cooked up.
kind of same.
I mean,
Honestly,
I
same.
have a
I
little
cooked
bit
up.
of chalk, but a lot of this is like, all right, I did some 2K career mode stuff over here.
Same. I mean, like I cooked these up myself, but I did use a little bit of rumor mill, but like what
Yeah.
I kind of want to see type, a mix.
Yeah, so my plan is I'm gonna get my two rumor mills out of the way and then
Mm-hmm.
like do my three actual ones.
Yeah, that's fine. So you can get your two, and then I'll go, and then we'll go back and forth.
I mean, I still want to go back and forth on what we're saying. Like, I want you to like add on, like, oh, this trade
Yeah,
rocks, this trade
I mean,
sucks. Or
Of
yeah,
course. Yeah, I got you.
yeah. So if the first one is just a swap, I'm like, well, there'll probably be more players and picks involved. Like Darius Garland needs to be a Pelican, and Brandon Ingram needs to be a Cavalier.
I
Just
like that.
needs to happen. The
hmm
Pelicans desperately been lacking for that point guard, and the Cavs need someone else that can score the ball that isn't a guard.
hmm
It's just I think it's a dream scenario for both worlds. It's a perfect fit.
I like that. I agree. Like, look, CJ McCollum's just not a point guard. Let's just
He's
call a
not.
spade a spade. He's a two. And Garland, look, he's had his ups and some ends and downs, but he can still play make. He can still shoot. He's a guard. He's a point guard. Like he's legit a
Mhm.
point guard. And I think Garland next to Zion's not a bad little duo. And then in Cleveland, look, this 6'1" guard backcourt thing, it can only go on for so long. So I think Ingram, again, another change of scenery for him would be nice. And he'd be a nice wing because Okoro, he's cool.
Mm.
He's cool, but yeah, I think I like that one.
Yeah, and then you can still got Max Strus, so you still got some forwards there, but Brandon Ingram still does have he'd probably be an all-star in the East if we're being serious.
hmm
So
He's just so
yeah,
weak.
why not bring that to Cleveland, man, and just gives you some spacing and just another great scorer. Like
hmm
you move on from your awful guard pairing and still have another all-star caliber player. Like how could you be mad?
Can we argue with that at
Yeah.
all?
Yeah, so then give me a trade you got Everton.
So first one I got was Jared Allen to the Magic. I've hinted at this before.
I want this so
I
bad.
want this so bad. So I actually did map it out, and what I got was Wendell Carter Jr. and either Jet Howard or Cole Anthony, depending on what the Cavs want. If they
Mm.
want like, because I'm sure they're gonna want a young player. That's why I put one of these guys.
Yeah.
And for Jet Howard, he's a more of a wing, younger than Cole. Probably got maybe a little upset. I don't know. But if they want that route, go for Jet. And if they want the guy who's at least been in the league a few years, has shown that he can at least play in the NBA, like score the ball, all that, go for Cole Anthony. Why not? And then of course I threw in like two picks,
Yeah, you're
whatever,
gonna have to get
because
some draft capital in there.
yeah, because it can't just be straight up Wendell Carter and Cole Anthony for Jared Allen. There's no way the Cavs would take that. So I took two picks. Why not? And then for the Magic, you get Jared Allen. I feel like that's a solid return.
It's
on
exactly
both
the type of
sides.
center they're looking for. Cole Anthony
Yeah.
could be a somewhat fun fit next to Donovan Mitchell. I see it. I
Hmm.
really like that. It's just Jared Allen, please get out of Cleveland.
Yeah,
And the
please.
Magic, they desperately need a center of your caliber. Like that team would be so much fun to watch.
Hmm. Yeah, I think for both sides, like first off for the Cavs, you get Wendell, so at least you're not losing a center. You're getting another one in return. And then Cole, like you said, could pair with Donovan Mitchell, solid. Or if they get Jet Howard, maybe he works out too. And then you can't go wrong with two pick. No, okay,
Sorry.
yeah.
Jet Howard denier.
I ain't mad at it. Not mad at it. All right, go ahead, bro. That's all you.
So then my second one I kind of have off the rumor mill is I want
Mm.
to see Zach LaVine in Sacramento like badly. I'm not saying this
Okay.
as a Bulls fan that just wants to, blow it up. He
Yeah.
just fits their style of play so freaking well, which is we're
Mm.
going 100 miles per hour, go on the break, go get some buckets. That's Zach LaVine's game. And the
Yeah.
Pacers have shown that this style of play can work.
Hmm.
So let's go let it happen, man.
I mean, the Kings even showed that this place how it could work,
Yeah.
honestly.
Pacers just did it a little bit better.
Yeah, yeah,
Just a
for sure.
little bit.
Definitely
Yeah,
did. Yeah. Mm.
if you get a backcourt where like because Malik Monk's kind of settled in that 6-man role. So instead of having
Mm.
Kevin Huerter starting, you have Zach LaVine starting. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Mm.
I'm just,
Um,
I'm like gonna keep it real. I'm like Ice Spice twerking that the 13th pick is involved in this trade.
yeah, that would be a W, honestly. If we could get a
Because
13th pick,
give me 11 and 13, we have like two young role players building around. I love it, but I know we're getting Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes, and Davion Mitchell. Hey,
um, so,
Cooper Flag, brother.
Cooper Flag. That's the end goal. All of
Yeah.
this, Cooper Flag. So you know what's funny? I actually have a Zach LaVine trade too,
Mm,
but I
where's he
went for
going?
the Warriors. Now, hold
Okay.
on, it's not Clay. So let me get that away. It's not
Yeah.
Clay. So this is what I think would happen in that scenario.
Mm.
Chris Paul, Moses Moody, and Kevon Looney and the pick
Oh my
or
God.
two, but I feel like a pick is probably
Yeah.
the most you get for Zach LaVine in the second rounder. So obviously, like,
on! Come on, we just scored 90th winner and knock out Croatia.
bro,
Come
I've just seen your
on.
eyes light
Come
up. Holy,
on.
y'all see the tat? Look.
Yeah, I got tatted up, by the way, if you guys didn't know. But come on.
Who scored?
I think it's Zach Agini. He plays somewhere in the Serie A. I
Mm,
forgot. Oh my God, there's no way we just did Croatia like that.
damn, Luka Modric going out like that is crazy. I'll let you have your. I'll give it a second.
Nah, keep talking. I'm just gonna
Oh,
take it
okay.
in.
So
So
I
sorry for
think
all the listeners. But like, I know you guys don't care about soccer.
hey, it's we both watch the sport. They got to live with it. So no, I'm joking. I hope y'all are enjoying that. For the Warriors, look, clearly the Clay ship has sailed. Like that's just not a thing anymore. You do need a second option if you're going to continue trying to make this whole thing work. You got to get another guy who can space the floor and put the ball on the floor.
What a
I think Zach
play.
Levine's the guy for the job.
Mhm.
I don't think Zach Levine's washed or anything. So I think if in the right system, in the
So
right
I'm
system,
gonna send you this. This is one hell of a goal.
actually, I'm probably have to
Yeah.
look at the highlights.
Oh my God.
For the Warriors, look, a guy who could come in and put up like 23 points per game. That's not a bad return. And then for the Bulls, CP3, you can either flip him or he'll just be on the roster for 1 year,
Mm.
whatever. I think
Jersey
flip him
sales.
though. Yeah, jersey sales, true.
Yeah.
And they want that type of stuff.
And they want that number one attendance.
Exactly. Moses Moody, that's the biggest part of this trade for me. Moses Moody, a guy who doesn't get to
Absolutely.
play much, but when we seen him play, we're like, yo, he's a legit player. So I think in Chicago, he could damn near start. Because if we're
Mhm.
gonna say Patrick Williams, skedaddle, Moses Moody come in, not a bad.
Not at all.
And then Kevon Looney, any chance we do trade Vooch, Kevon Looney's a serviceable center.
Mhm.
We know that already. So
Yeah.
why not? And if you were to get a pick, hey, you got a
Yeah, I'd
pick.
be so happy. I'm gonna be honest. I'd be happy with Moses Moody. Like, no pick. Let's say no picks are involved on either side. That
Yeah.
return from the Warriors to be so much better than the Kings
Just
return.
getting Moody is already like a W,
Yeah, no,
honestly.
I would love that.
So yeah, that's my trade.
I like that. So now this is where I'm in my bag. No rumor mill at all. I'm just thinking.
Okay.
I hinted at this one earlier, but Jaden Ivey just needs to get out of Detroit. It just doesn't
Yeah.
work.
Cook up.
The Miami Heat need a backup. They need a point guard so
Mm,
bad. So I
mm-hmm.
was like, oh, 15 Duncan Robinson, Nikola Jovic would move me. because
Yeah.
Duncan Robinson is a shooter that Detroit desperately needs, and he's not getting the
Hmm.
burn he was once getting in Miami. Nikola Jovic is a young guy, and then who knows what they make out of 15.
Yeah. I like that. Ooh.
Yeah, let Jay
Okay.
get Jay Ivey in Miami too. Like that team would be
Hmm.
fun. Like I know,
Development would
yeah,
work too.
get Terry Rozier to be like six man. They run like Ivy, Harrow,
Hmm.
Butler, Bam. Like that team's gonna be fun. Jaime Haskell's
Yeah.
there too. Like I
Hmm.
would love watching some Miami Heat basketball.
I like that trade. I do like that. And of course, like you said, they traded him to the 15th pick too. So Collier isn't on the cards here. So
Yeah.
yeah, I like that. I
And
like that.
I think that's a fair return for Ivy because like he hasn't totally gotten to prove himself, so you're not gonna get like a boatload of stuff in return, but you still get a young guy Nikola Jovic who's shown so much promise. You get pick 15, that's gonna get you another player you need, and Duncan Robinson's shooting you desperately lack.
Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah,
Okay.
that was the first one I cooked up.
So this one is my dream because it's OKC trade.
Uh,
Laurie Market in OKC. We've all
okay.
been hearing about it, but here's what I'm going for. Kenrich Williams, who's a 3-and-D guy. He's cool. Usman Dang, I know he's like a young player with a lot of upside, but in a trade for Markin, you're gonna have to give up guys like that,
Mhm.
and maybe one other young player, and then of course we're gonna have to give up like 4 picks. Let's be honest, we're gonna have to give
Yeah.
up some picks, but that's the main part of it, and I'm okay with that. Honestly, we have a bunch of picks still in stash.
Mhm.
We can give up some picks for Laurie Markkinen straight up. I can't. And the Utah, look, y'all gotta. It's Utah. Come on.
You don't
I
get to
think
gatekeep Lori. Like you and
no, like
him and
exactly. You
Brooklyn got
don't.
to learn.
Exactly. I think Kendrick Williams, you can flip him and get some other like second round picks or whatever. Usman Dang, a lot of upside. He'll better run in Utah than he will on our team. Why
100%.
not? And then Utah's got a lot of picks too,
Yeah.
or more. You know. And then for OKC, I think Laurie comes in. We can finally move J Dub to the 3
Mhm.
because that's where I think he's naturally supposed to be playing. Marking at the 4, like okay, SGA, Caruso, J Dub, marking in Chet. I mean, and then off the bench, if we do get Hardenstein, Dort, Wallace, like I like that setup of a team.
Mhm.
Um, and I know people might mention defense with marking in, but we have some really good perimeter defense, which is already a plus. We have a great interior defense.
Mhm.
J-Dub is a solid defender. He's not like a cone, you know? And at least with marketing, he's at least 7 foot, like 240.
Yeah.
Not saying he's gonna come out there and, but
Mhm.
like he at least has size, so it can help him out in some aspects.
Yeah.
And he's athletic too. So
And
that's what I want to happen.
as a Bulls fan, I've seen Caruso play some pretty good paint defense as well. So like you're gonna have guys down that team that can help Laurie out.
Mention now that you say that, I just saw a stat. Russo actually had more blocks than Vooch. Dude, that's insane to think about. I'm not gonna
All right.
lie.
It's fine. It's fine. So this is where I got my bag, Everton, because I was thinking about some Laurie marketing tricks. I want him out of Utah.
Hmm.
Dallas needs a third scorer on that team.
Mm-hmm.
So why not get Walmart Dirk Nowitzki on your team? And so I was like, they don't got a lot of picks, but you could potentially kill your depth doing this. But like
Mm-hmm.
when it came to the finals, we saw PJ Washington's not going to be your answer for you guys. Like he's a cool role player. He's not going to be your third scorer. It's just not going to work out.
Yeah.
So you have two young guys who really impressed me in the playoffs, and Jaden Hardy and Josh Green. Get those two guys. Throw in Maxi Kleber for some contract and 2 firsts, and I think you can get it out of Utah because
Mm-hmm.
Josh Green, Jaden Hardy, they proved those are young guys that are going to be able to contribute. Like I really was hating on the regular season. They proved me wrong. I was really impressed with their playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
And Dallas, like they're still have Derrick Jones, like they're still have the defenders they need, but they desperately need a third guy that can get the ball in the net.
Yeah.
Why not get Laurie Market and kind of get some Dirk Nowitzki vibes coming back?
That is a really good pickup. That's a really that might push them back into where they.
Yeah, because here's how the NBA works now. You can't be satisfied with your finals appearance. You got to keep
No,
building.
you have to. You got to
Because
keep.
yeah, especially in the West, teams are going to catch up. So you got to
Oh,
keep improving. Go get
yeah.
Laurie.
Mm-hmm. I
And then
agree.
I had one more. I didn't have what the other swap was,
Mm-hmm.
but the Lakers desperately need a big that can shoot the ball. And Brook Lopez is on the trade market.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you can get Brook Lopez on the cheap, pair him next to Anthony Davis, and he's still a good shot blocker, I think that would be a great fit for the Lakers. That would actually be a serious move they could make.
Sorry, I was throwing something away. I didn't want it to be loud,
You're all
but
good.
Brook Lopez, look, anybody who can move AD back to the four, I think it's a positive because we've
Mm,
seen AD have most of his success playing the four. And Brook Lopez, like, stretch big, and you don't have to worry about the rebounding because that's what AD is there for.
mm.
And he can block shots. AD and Brook Lopez in the paint, it's kind of crazy. So I
It's
like that
nasty
one.
work.
Yeah.
And those are my trades. It's gonna be an eventful offseason. Who knows what's
Yeah, I
gonna
can't
happen?
wait.
I'm
I can't
excited.
wait. Mhm.
But what was also eventful, kind of, was the NBA Finals. The
Kind of.
Celtics are NBA champions. What are our takeaways? What did we learn? Whose legacy's here? Let's talk finals. Everton. Let's just talk. Let's just deal with the big one right away. Jason Tatum. How do we feel about him? Is he a top five player? Which we'll talk about later
I'm
as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna leave that for later. I won't even I want to discuss that part because I want to
Yeah.
leave all of that to later.
Okay.
Um, so my first thing I wanted to bring up is this the most hated winning team since the Warriors, bro?
Oh, most definitely. Definitely.
Like I have not seen a team win a chip since the Warriors, and everybody's like, boo! Like, damn, like, oh my goodness, I'm a part of that problem a little bit, but
Yeah.
I respect it. But damn, like y'all been hating on me. Goodness,
Mhm.
we did it, dude.
He's not helping us. He is not helping his aura cause.
No, not at all. But I gotta give Celtics credit. They did exactly what they were supposed to do.
Mm,
They won 64 games in the regular season, one of the best offensive and defensive teams. Went to the playoffs. Look, say what you want about Mickey runs and all the injuries and stuff. They beat who was in front of them in dominant fashion. So
mm,
they did what they were supposed to do. You went up against Miami. Ooh, the boogeyman, Jimmy Butler's not playing. You beat him in five. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to sweep him low key, but you're supposed to beat him in five, right? Next round, you go up against the Cavs. Cavs had so many injuries. What do? You beat them in five. Again, you probably should have swept them, but you beat them in five dominantly. Do what you're supposed to do. Conference finals, Pacers, injuries again with Tyrese. You swept them, but low key, you're lucky the Pacers were like, we're going to actually lose this
mm.
game.
Uh-huh.
Because low key, spade to spade, three of those games, the Pacers could have won those games
Yeah,
if
dude.
they
Oh,
just
how
were
crazy
locked
this
in.
different discourse could be.
Literally, game one. If I've seen this picture so many times, if Pascal Siakam decided not to dig in his butt and
Yeah.
contest Jalen Brown's shot, we're talking about game one victory for the Pacers.
Mhm.
Game three, I believe, or game two. You're only down what 10? Rick Carlisle says, we're done. Sub them out. Why? Literally why? Game three. Oh man, they just could not close out game three or four. Because I feel like they were winning both those games. And they're just
They
like,
were.
nah.
No.
So you swept those guys again, not dominantly, because like I just mentioned, literally like all those games, the Pacers could have just done some things differently. But again, you swept them. NBA Finals, go up against Dallas. Luka literally looks like a mummy out there, and Kyrie. We'll talk about that in a second. But you beat them guys in five, like you're supposed to do. So for the Celtics, as much as it's like, I got to give them the credit. They went out there and dominated every team they played and won the chip.
Mhm.
And that's what they were supposed to do this season. That's what the expectation was. So S tier season, by the way. Since we
Mhm.
did that last
Oh
time,
yeah, S
we
tier
said it was
season.
S tier season. So yeah.
Yeah, the Boston Celtics has kind of changed the way we're gonna look at basketball now, and I blame Pep Guardiola for it. But it's just like you need a center that can somehow get to the perimeter and defend the paint at the same time. Like if you don't have a Wemby, you're in a terrible situation for how the NBA is going because this 5 out spacing the Celtics can do is just
Mm-hmm.
disgusting. Like they're so good at passing it back and forth and then getting guys that
Yeah.
can drive to the rim. Which Jason
Mm-hmm.
Tatum was doing a little bit of a better job in the finals. I know we were bringing that up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this Celtics team is just they get defenders as well. They just have everything. And one of the bigger things we were looking for is like, oh yeah, those role players, like the guys come off the bench, they need to be good in those minutes, or else the Mavericks gonna get them. And those
Yeah.
guys were incredible. Sam Hauser was doing his thing. The
Mm-hmm.
people that come off the Celtics bench, they just cooked for him, and everything the Celtics needed to go right went right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And yeah, so like I said, Celtics, I gotta give them credit
Mhm.
for all the things. Joel Mazzulla, hey, props to you, bro.
Incredible
Because I
coach.
know some people are like fraud, 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 fraud. Win a chip. I
On
know
a
Ime
torn
is probably sitting
meniscus.
there on the tour meniscus too. I know Ime Udoka sitting there like, damn.
Yeah.
If only I wasn't so horny. Like, bro, he was one horn dog session away from probably being an NBA champion coach. But all in all, in terms of players specifically, Drew Holiday, okay, claps to you.
Mm.
Jaylen Brown, Finals MVP. Jason Tatum. Well, I'm gonna save that for later because that's gonna be more prevalent in our next thing. Porzingis in game one, dude just came out and decided to be Dirk for like not even Dirk, just came out and decided to be Wemby for some odd reason.
Mm.
Then got back into injury stuff. Al Horford, claps to you for finally getting your chip. I'm happy for you.
Mm.
Peyton Pritchard, you were kind of buns, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know you mentioned the bench players like being good. Peyton Pritchard's like the one dude who was just bad, bro. Like literally
But
just bad.
the half court shots though.
I think those are the only threes he made.
Yeah, I
Those
know.
half court shots might have been the only threes he made.
He emptied the
Um,
clip.
like, hey, I guess, shoot,
Mm.
hey, that's why they call him White Kyrie.
Yeah.
Hey, that kind of adds up if you're talking about
Yeah,
finals
yeah.
performances.
Actually.
But yeah, that's all I gotta say about the Celtics. So, what you got?
Yeah, I'm so disappointed in Kyrie Irving. We are about to have some serious conversations of is he the best wingman of all time, like the best second option. Those went out the window.
Yeah, gone.
Boston owned him. Like it was awful what they were doing to him. Kyrie was non-existent. I mean, pretty much outside of Luca, the whole team was inexistent. Like Derek Lively was still showing some promise throughout. Gafford was still having some good moments. But like PJ Washington, a ghost. Kyrie Irving ghosted. Derek Jones was still trying to do his thing on defense. We weren't seeing him on the offense side of the ball. They just
Hmm.
had the Mavericks lost, and it's just so crazy for me to think about how good the Celtics defense really is. Because we were
Hmm.
talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is the best defense we've seen since the '04 Pistons. And the
Yep.
Mavericks had their way with them, and they looked non-existent against the Celtics. Like Everton, I've been trying to figure this out as well, so I'm hoping you have an answer for me. What did
Yeah.
the Celtics do different defensively that the Timberwolves didn't?
Well, I think the biggest thing is not having Rudy Gobert. Now, not to like shit on Rudy Gobert, but I think having guys at pretty much every position able to go in the perimeter, that's always going to set them apart. Because
Mm.
Rudy Gobert, once he gets switched onto Luca or Kyrie, it's like ooh, you know.
Mm.
But we've seen Al Horford have decent success. Obviously, Brown, Tatum, like those four. I told you those four are very important. Like having Drew Holiday and Derek White, maybe the best defensive backcourt in the league. That's a plus, right?
Yeah.
Jalen Brown and Tatum stepped up defensively. Again, Brown did a great job guarding Luca. Tatum did solid to great. I mean, having those four specifically is already going to give you more of an advantage over Minnesota, who have Cat and Gobert. I think that's the two. That's the biggest thing for me is having
Mm.
Cat, who it's Cat, bro. We know he's not really a defensive player, and then Gobert, he's he's a great defensive player, but you get him out on that perimeter, he's kind of on an island, you know.
Mm.
So I think that's the biggest thing that set him apart in terms of between Minnesota and like um Boston. But I think it just goes to show why this playoffs is like it's all about matchups.
Absolutely.
You know, like Minnesota was more suited to beat a team like Denver, whereas at Dallas, it's like, no, not really that suited to do that, which you did say. So hats off to you because you did call that. Um, and then Dallas, I think Minnesota isn't as suited to beat a team like Dallas, whereas Boston is, you know, so it's all about matchups in that sense.
Yes. Let me ask you another future question, Everton is
Hmm.
what team is suited up to beat the Boston Celtics? Is it the Denver Nuggets or is there another team that's got to get the job done?
So I think the Nuggets actually have a pretty solid chance because of the difference between Jokic and like Luca.
Mm.
Because the Mavs don't have like that big who can just you know, and we've seen Jokic have success against the Celtics in the regular season. So with that in mind, I think the Nuggets are a team to look out for. I think Dallas is still a team to look out for. I'm not
Hmm.
gonna just say Dallas has. There's no chance they beat them. You know, I
Yeah.
think if Dallas is fully healthy, with Luca being more healthy, we might see them put up a better fight. Um, I think New York, if the offseason goes as we see it, might. New York's not, Philly even right.
Mm.
So, and then I think even like I don't know how Minnesota would have handled them. Nah, honestly, I think Minnesota would struggle too, to be honest. And then OKC maybe. So
We got a lot of fun happening in the NBA, but the Boston Celtics have shifted the way that teams are going to build around their teams. It's going to be a
I
lot of
think
praying for front
oh
offices.
the one thing I do want to add To the people who said Luka had no help, I do not want to hear that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's crap.
Because y'all were saying the whole time, Luka finally has help, and look what happened. He's in the finals. Just because they shit the bed in the finals doesn't make it, oh, Luka has no help all of a sudden. Stop it. Please. Let's not do that. Yeah.
His help just needs to show out. But
Yeah.
Luca, I think, still played well.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to transition into who are the top 15 players in the NBA following the 2024 NBA Finals. There's going to be a lot of discourse here. This is going to be the big takeaway. Where does Tatum rank? Where does Luca rank? Where does everybody rank after this finals?
Yeah.
It's fun to have these conversations. But Everton, before we do that, I have a question for you.
Okay.
When it comes to a duo, who is the better duo? Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown or Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce?
Well, okay. I'm gonna go KG and okay, well it depends. Are you saying when they played together or like prime for prime type of
When
thing?
they played together. Brooklyn
Yo,
Nets doesn't count, by the way.
no, but if we were talking about that, we wouldn't be talking.
Yeah.
Okay. So with KG and Pierce, right? KG's a big who literally won Defensive Player of the Year when they
Mm,
played together and was still giving you like 20 and 10 or whatever. So with that in mind, that's like a top 10, top 5 type of player.
yeah.
And with Paul Pierce, again, he was borderline top 10 as well as a scorer and a solid defender.
Mm,
So, and then with Tatum and Brown, I think Tatum's close to top 5 and Brown's closest to that like top 20, top 15. So I think
mm,
we have two guys who are like here and then guys who are like here.
mm.
I think I might lean more towards KG and Paul Pierce.
Which is understandable. I don't hate that take. I'd feel the same way. But I some love to show to Jalen Brown. So let's get in this top. We're gonna go 15 to 11 here.
Okay.
At 15, I have Jalen Brown. He just skyrocketed up my rankings.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then I have Jalen Brown, Kevin Durant, Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, and LeBron.
You have LeBron at 11.
Yeah,
So wait, run that. Well, hold on. Okay,
you good.
so
So I have
do
Jalen
11
Brown
through
at
15.
11. Okay, I have
Yeah.
LeBron at 11, Donovan
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell at 12, Jalen Brunson at 13, Kevin Durant at 14, and Jalen Brown at 15.
Wow, Katie at 14?
Hmm.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Damn.
I think Jalen Brown has earned every right to be in this top 15 after this whole playoff run. I mean, he's always been great in the playoffs, but he was the best player on the Celtics team that won a championship. How are you the best player
Mm-hmm.
on a championship team and not in the top 15? Like, that's ridiculous to say
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he's earned that right. He's just incredible on both sides of the ball. I'm so impressed. I gotta show him his flowers. Kevin Durant still has to be an incredible player. Don't get me wrong. The NBA is just so talented now, and the Phoenix Suns are just not having the success. Love his type of build, but there's just so many good players on this board, man. Like, it's really hard to do these rankings. It's just, I mean, he can't really attack the rim like he used to anymore, so he's kind of like a little bit more limited.
Mm-hmm.
Still an incredible player though,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I don't think he's the number one guy on this team anymore.
Ooh. Okay. All right. All right. So for me, 15, I went Jalen Brown because again, oh, honorable mention Kawhi is not on this list, by the way.
His same here.
Yeah. If you're gonna just keep not playing the playoffs, bro, I can't put you above the guy who just won a finals MVP.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Jalen Brown 15, put Donovan Mitchell at 14, Devin Booker at 13. Oops. Jalen Brunson at 12. And at 11, I had Anthony Edwards.
Oh,
Yeah, hot take. I don't think he's top 10 yet. Yeah, I know. That's gonna make some people throw some fits, maybe. But I'll be honest, I'll say this for the end, actually. I won't say anything yet. But yeah, I think Ant's 11 for me.
yeah, I have Anthony Edwards a little bit higher than you
I could
do.
tell. Could definitely tell.
Wow. Well, we're gonna get to that though. Is there anything else you want to add on? Like, I also have
Um,
Devin Booker higher than you do.
yeah, I could see that as well. No, I feel like I like this already because usually we have the exact same thing. So the fact that it's already starting to be different, I'm good. Let's just wait
Okay.
till we get to the whole thing. I like that.
All right, then I'll get back right back into this. At 10, I have AD.
Mm-hmm.
At 9, I have Booker. At 8, I have Ant. At 7, I have Curry. And at 6, I have Tatum.
Okay.
I just, after the playoff run we saw from Tatum, where he wasn't really the number one guy and had way too many inconsistency, he can't be in that top 5. He cannot.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Okay.
Curry's always going to forever be that guy. Anthony Edwards where he was gonna be the #1 guy. He just needed a little bit. He still needs a second scorer next to him, so I'm not gonna hold
Mhm.
that against him. I can tell this is how good of a player he is. Devin Booker, I think people forgot how good he was on that run for that team went to the finals. Like that Phoenix Suns, like he's an incredible player. The team's built like shit. I'm not gonna hold that against him. And
Yeah,
he
it
still has
is.
evolved as a passer. Like he's still getting better. So I love Devin Booker. Curry's Curry, and I don't think LeBron's the #1 guy on the Los Angeles Lakers anymore. I think AD's
N-
that guy. I'm gonna show him his flowers.
Neither do I. I don't think so either. So at 10, I had Steph.
Okay.
At 9, I had KD.
Uh huh.
At 8, I had Braun. 7, I had Tatum. 6, I had
Ooh.
AD. I might overrate AD. I'm
Ooh.
not gonna lie, but I just
Let's hear
his.
this AD praise. I was about
I
to
mean,
start calling you Unk for having these old guys higher up.
okay. Let me explain. With Steph at 10, he had a solid season, but when you look at like with LeBron and KD, why have both of them above Steph? I know they're not shooting as many threes as Steph, so let me not get this, but they both did shoot relatively good from three, just like he did. Now again, they're not shooting freaking 12 like how he's shooting 12, but they're at least knocking down threes. The defensive gap, KD had maybe his best defensive year this past year,
Mm-hmm.
outside of maybe his Warriors years. Now that's not saying much Phoenix had to depend on him, but hey, him being the best defensive player in a team that was supposed to be good defensively and actually ended up being 13th, I'll give him his flowers for that. And while still being a really good offensive player, again, I think it might have been 50, 40, 90, if not close.
Mm-hmm.
So, and putting up like 28, 6 and 5, whatever. Right. What do you know, KD, right? So, with that in mind, him having that level of season made me push him above Steph. LeBron, again, shot 40% from three, really good slasher. Gonna give you about 26, 8 and 8. Versatility is there. Defensively, he's not a cone. He's better than Steph defensively. He's not like lockdown defender, but
Mm-hmm.
LeBron gonna still play some solid defense from time to time, and he's gonna get a chase down block. So I think versatility is what I do value a lot of versatility.
Okay.
So um I did put him over KD for that reason, but I could see why anybody would flip flop him.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see why anybody would move up Curry above both of them. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad at it. I just feel like
Mm-hmm.
Steph, we're kind of getting he didn't have the greatest season. Now I get it. Warriors are in a spot where it's like, uh,
Uh-huh.
but I mean, you can say the same for the Lakers and the Suns, you
Absolutely.
know? So I can't use that as an argument to have for Steph playing, you know, a little worse than he has in the past,
Mm.
right?
That's understandable.
So
I'm
I
not
put
too
him down
mad
for
with
that
that.
reason.
The only
Yeah.
one I think is a little crazy is I loved 80, but 80 at 6 over some of these guys is like, whoa,
So
whoa,
I'm gonna
whoa,
get
whoa,
to that.
whoa.
So here's the reason why Tatum's only at 7. I had Tatum at 7 originally. And I'm gonna be honest, the playoffs didn't move me to move him up,
Not at
right?
all.
My same reasoning for having 80 over Tatum back then was Tatum always seems to underperform when we need him. And what did Tatum literally just do?
Yeah, underperform when you need them.
Right? Like, I'll give him his credit. He's doing other things. He's passing really well. He's rebounding really well. He's defending really well. Bro, they don't pay you to be Draymond.
Mm.
Like simple as that. You are supposed to be a scoring player. And for you to put up like it was like the whole playoff run. Like, I'm just sitting there like, yo, when is Tatum gonna turn up? Like, when is he gonna
We
turn
said
up?
it every podcast.
Every podcast. Like, I guess in the Indiana series, he had a pretty solid series. I won't lie. He had a pretty solid series in Indiana. But
Yeah, against the worst defense in the
the
NBA
worst
playoffs.
defense, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So this playoff run didn't make me go, yeah, Tatum's top 5 now for sure. Like, no, it just made me say, well, exactly what I said before. He literally just did the same thing.
Yeah.
So I can't really use that as a talking point. And he didn't even win Finals MVP on his own team.
Oh,
Now,
no. Yeah.
I'm right. So with that in mind, Tatum stayed at 7 for me for that reason. Now that could be hate. I don't really care. It's my list. If you have a different list, hey,
Mhm.
let me know what you think in the comments. But for me, that didn't move me. So, oops, with AD, right? I really value this dude being one of the 3 best defensive players in the league and
Mhm.
still able to give you 26 points and like 13 rebounds.
Mhm.
And mid-range game is decent. 3-point game, I mean, he can make a three if you shoot him. I just really that versatility really is why he's 6 for me. I do feel like
Mhm.
people get too hell bent on the injury stuff and don't focus on the fact that this dude not only is the best player on his team, but is a guy who's gonna give you 27 points or 26 points, whatever. He's gonna grab 13 boards. He's not a terrible passer. He can pass the
Mhm.
ball, but that's not his primary thing. And he literally at times is the best defensive player in the league. So
Mm.
that's why I have AD at
Yeah.
6. Maybe it's high. I know
Mm.
some people might not agree, but I
Mm.
don't know. That's how I
Yeah.
feel about it.
I mean, I'm not giving him the flowers just yet, but I think he's gonna start skyrocketing because like the reason he's like lower is like, oh, but he couldn't do it against Jokic. I think we're
Mm.
starting to realize that nobody can do it against Jokic.
Nobody. Exactly. That's why I
It's,
don't use that against
yeah.
him. I
So
hate when people do like
yeah,
I hate that, bro. Oh my
I think I'll
gosh.
give AD his flowers soon. I need another season where he's the #1 guy in Los Angeles. So don't be surprised if he starts skyrocketing up my top 10 soon.
Okay. All right. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it.
Now let's get into the top 5, which I hope we have it the same. I know we had one disagreement in the past.
That's
I'm hoping Everton's opened his eyes a little bit.
we'll
But my
see.
top 5 is Embiid, Shea, Giannis, Luka, Jokic.
Okay, so my top 5 is Embiid, Shea, Luka, Giannis, Jokic.
Oh my god.
Okay,
That's no, no, no.
what can I
You
say?
can't watch this Luka playoff run and not think he's better than Giannis.
Okay. Okay, tell me why you think he's better. Just off the playoff run?
Not just off this playoff run. We still see in the past, like, oh, he's right there. Then this playoff run just kind of cemented it, like I thought he was in the past. A far better, like, I respect that Luka's a better, or, well, excuse me, Giannis is a better defender than Luka is. Cannot disagree
Hmm.
with that. Luka's a far more skilled scorer, far better passer, brings more versatility. They both just kind of, I mean, Luka complains a little bit more. But when it comes to the offensive side of the ball, Luka is far more skilled than just, oh, I'm just gonna run in the paint and dunk it. If we just want to oversimplify it like that, I just I hate saying this word so much, but I truly mean it for this argument. I just look at Luka and Giannis like, oh, Luka is just so much more skilled than Giannis. I'm gonna value that more over his size.
Okay. I mean, I get for me, my biggest thing is productivity, right? You're looking at a guy who averages 32 points per game and a guy who averages 31 points per game,
Mm,
right? So scoring is there. Even though Luka might do and Giannis might do, yeah, I'm just gonna run and dunk. They're
yeah.
both gonna get you the same amount of points.
Mm,
One's gonna do it cuter than the other is, but when you look
mm,
at who had the numbers on the stat sheet, they're both gonna put up relatively the same points,
mm.
right? I'm not gonna bring up rebounding because we're talking about a 4 versus a 1.
And
Granted,
they
Luka,
both could bring in a bunch of rebounds.
exactly, because Luka could grab some boards too.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not gonna use that as a talking point because come on, it's
Uh-huh.
rebounds. And then assists, Luka got that. I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
argue that. Luka
Mm,
has that. You know, he's a better passer by far. But I will give Giannis his flowers. He is actually one of the better passers at his position
mm.
because he did just average, I think, his career high in assists. And then defense. We know the gap in
Yeah.
defense, right? And this playoff run, like I said, Luka did his thing offensively, but at times he was literally a cone. Now I know he
Mm.
was injured, so I'm not gonna completely just. But at times it was like, yo, you want to get by? Go ahead.
Yeah.
You
No,
know.
definitely.
So I'm not gonna boot. Luka had a great playoff run, and like I said, honestly, content. But Luka, like I said, for me, it's all about production.
Yeah.
I don't care how you do it, as long as you do it.
Mm,
If you're gonna give me 31 points per game by just running and dunking, versus the guy who's gonna give me 32 points per game while doing
mm,
a bunch of step backs and stuff,
mm.
I'm not gonna use that as the reason why I boost another guy.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we're gonna get the same points. So
Yeah. And another thing I like to why I prefer Luka is just kind of like game planning.
mhm,
You can game plan a way to. It doesn't always work, but you can game plan a way to stop Giannis. Like, all right, we're gonna either foul him center of the line, or we're gonna
mhm,
just step back, make sure he starts like pulling from threes. Hopefully, just.
mhm.
But Luca, you just can't game plan for him on the defensive side of the ball because he's gonna get his either way. And
Yeah.
I just think that just kind of proves the caliber of players. Like, oh, if I can't game plan to stop you, we just gotta hope up for stopping everybody else. I just feel
Mhm.
like that deserves the recognition. So that's the big reason I got Luca over Giannis.
I am not mad at that. But trust me, it's not that big. Like
It's so
honestly,
close.
it's
It's
too
so freaking
close. It's
close.
so close. That's why I'm not even like gonna lose. I'm not gonna lay down at night and be like, Joey really had Luca over Giannis,
Yeah.
bro. Like, no, at the end, I love these are two of some of my favorite players. So
Mm.
I'm just happy to see that both of
Yeah,
them are
they're
in this
fun.
upper echelon, to be
Yeah.
honest.
And
But
I really hope I don't sound like a Giannis hater for saying he just runs and dunks it. It's just when you're
no,
comparing him and Luca, I have to have some sort of reasoning.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Giannis halfback dive is one of the best plays to ever grace the sport of basketball.
I think this just proves how we both view like basketball, really.
Mm.
Which is, hey, we're two different people at the end of the day.
We're just guys being dudes, dudes being
At
guys.
least we both know Jokic still won.
Yeah, I don't think there's any debate. It's
I,
gonna be
I
that way for probably like 2 or 3 more until Wemby's ready to take it.
yeah, basically, because
Yeah.
or Luca, right?
Mhm.
Hmm?
Gotta get him some help.
No, hey, Lori, Lori marketing? Oh,
Talk soon. Talk soon.
I don't know. We'll talk. Okay, but
And
yeah, I
yeah,
like that.
and we're going to talk soon because we'll be back in 2 days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we will
we'll
be
be
back in
back
2 days.
on Wednesday. 3 podcasts this week. It's going to be busy. I gotta get to editing. We got so much. I got a busy week ahead of me.
Yeah, bro.
I'm excited. Me and Everton, we're locked in. And I know we
Yeah,
normally end up some silly, but we did at the start where I complained about White Sox being a Bulls fan. So rewind it if you somehow missed it.
yeah.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Joey the Message joined by Everton Levy. Like, subscribe, share, upvote, do whatever. Just show some love. We appreciate it. And as always, make sure you stay smooth.
Stay smooth.